Okay, so right now we are live on YouTube, but like it's a blank screen and we're all muted. So just okay, we're all ready to go finally. Whew. Sorry, that takes up so much of my effort. I feel like kind of rude each time a stream started, but it is what it is. Anyway, so thank you all for being here. I'm really excited to play with all of you. So Turk, this is my first time talking with you. Jamal, we are friends on Twitter. Michelle, we played in a one shot before, and Dominique, you were on the session 0, right? Yeah. All right. So we're here to have a good time, right? We all read the session 0 handout, right? So we all know it's above the line behavior and below the line behavior. All right. So let's try to keep it above the line. All right. You're all playing characters, and the idea is right that we're gonna sort of try to embody that personality, but next week someone else is gonna play it, right? There's no like right or wrong way. The game only exists on the stream and in our imaginations, right? So don't feel like completely obligated to do something. Uh, I'm going to explain a little bit other things for the audience when they get on here, but something that's really important for you folks as players is the most important thing is to keep the story moving, right? Go ahead and try to play tactically, make, good decisions, but there's no right answer, right? It's more important just to do something than to sit there and just try to figure out what's the perfect solution. Yes, and mess ups can be amazing and fun. Oh, I guess we're not muted. I thought we were. Oh, I'm not muted. The rest of you guys folks are. All right, that's okay. That just means that everyone got to hear my little session 0 rant, which is just fine. Yeah, they're all prepped as well. Ah, open.
I would say even third degree.
Third degree? Yeah.
All right, we should all be live right now. All right, hello, welcome, hello everybody. How are we feeling there in chat land? Hopefully somebody in chat can tell me if they can hear my audio. Actually, I already know if you can hear my audio. And hopefully you can tell me whether or not you can hear the audio from our esteemed guests. So will everyone just say hi real fast?
Hello there.
Hello.
Flame yo, hot man. Oh no.
All right, hopefully chat will
Off
let
to a
me
hot
know.
start.
Off to a hot start. The fire puns begin. Okay, so everybody who is new to the channel or new to this stream, let me go ahead and tell you what is going on. We are doing a series of linked one-shots, right? So this is going to be 8 episodes, and each episode is going to be its own standalone one-shot adventure. But if you link them all together, they tell a wider story. And it's called The Killers of the King. So one twist is that the characters are going to stay the same, but the players are going to rotate. Everyone playing here is an audience member from this channel, and they either sign up in the Discord or they got invited to show up and go ahead and play in this stream. So if you're interested, there's a link to the Discord in the description. Ooh.
Come join us.
Yeah. So this is the idea. They are playing same characters are going to be here in 2 weeks, but it's going to be different players playing them. All right. Sound good?
Yee.
All right. And so
Yes, please.
yeah, so something we're going to do to try to keep everyone like in character, quote unquote, is on each of your character sheets you also have a catchphrase, right? It's something super corny, and something that'll have a really easy opportunity to go ahead and say. And so if you get the opportunity to say your catchphrase, you'll gain an inspiration. Sound good?
Okay. Really? Is it every time we say it?
I think you can only have one inspiration at a time, but yes.
Okay.
But just immediately get it and then use it and then say it again.
This is
It's a
perfect.
challenge. It's a personal challenge. Who can say
Yeah.
it the most?
All right.
Challenge accepted.
Oh.
Was that your
And
phrase?
we also have a viewer incentive, right? If we can get to 10 and then 25 concurrent viewers, good things will happen to you folks, right?
Okay.
Like, I have 2 magic items that I'm waiting to give out, but we have to get some more folks here in the stream first.
Okay.
Sound interesting?
The pressure's on, viewers.
Yeah, pressure is on, viewers. Go ahead and hype. All right. So before we get going, do you folks have any questions?
Will anyone mourn your passing?
Are you starting off? All right.
All right.
It was-
So with oh no, I just lost my document. I'm so sad.
Don't worry, I'll mourn your passing.
Oh, come on, spinning wheel of death. All right.
Various degrees of that entire session.
All right. 1 second, chat, everybody. I got a spinning wheel of death situation going on here. So I guess we're going to do this halfway through, but why don't you go ahead and introduce your characters while we're waiting for my 2016 MacBook to work.
Oh, jeez. Well, I guess I'll go left. We'll go left to right, and I'll just jump off. Hello, everyone. I am Turk. I will be playing Blaze of Brackenfield. He is a human noble, though noble usually means you have land tied to your name, and he's lacking in that. So, ex-noble, current noble seeker. I can shoot fire and do cool things with my brain at people. It's in my blood, what can I say? But yeah, he's here to get revenge on the Gnostics and also maybe make some gold, maybe reclaim his landed titles, you know, that kind of thing. He's not going to be a storybook character about it, but, you know. Throwing it over to Kendrick Carr.
I am Michelle, and I am playing the infernal dragonborn known as Kendrakar Valkyrin. He is plagued by demonic nightmares and seeks to restore justice in order to stop these nightmares and find some sort of peace, and is probably not too fond of the fact that there's fire to everything around him. But you know what? It's fine. As long as we're helping people, it's fine. And that's what I know of my character.
Okay, I'll go next.
Yeah.
Yes, my name's Millicent, and I'm an archivist. I was an archivist to Blazes, the Brackenfield estate, until it was ransacked by those evil Gnostics in the First Civil War. They came in and they killed colleagues. It was terrible, and ransacked this archive. All these precious documents destroyed. I managed to grab a few and flee away. And in the intervening years, I've been studying them, and found some really rather interesting documents actually about ancient runes. And I've been practicing my rune wielding skills, and I now feel like I can take the power of these documents, these ancient knowledge, and turn it against those who sought to destroy it. So I'm met back up with Blaze, and you know, we're planning to bring back his noble house and take the fight to the Gnostics.
First, definitely over the second, but yes.
Perfect. My name is Jamal, and I'll be playing, I want to say it's Orion. I like that way. He is a shade elf archer. He's a bit like touched by the Fae, so I say I've got like a wet nose and like dog-like ears. So this wet nose I just imagined something like a dog's nose. Otherwise, it's just an elf who always has like a runny nose. And that's a weird visual, but you can go with that. My backdrop is I was actually prophesized to come to some land and slay a legendary creature, but I've been in this land for like over a century, and I don't know if I even believe it anymore. There's a hint of doubt to it, and people are weird. And the only person I've met Blaze before, he seemed all right, you know, for a human, those short-lived creatures. But this is kind of where I'm at.
All right, so that is our team of intrepid adventurers. All right, so without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and mark this for the video, and let's jump into it. You meet in a tavern. All right, really creative, right? You meet in a tavern. Laying on the grimy table in front of you, all your eyes are fixed on a blood-stained handkerchief. The king is dead. 3 years ago, a cult called the Gnostics, who claimed to know the secret truth of the White Church, led an insurrection that toppled not only the church, but the crown that it supported too. When the Gnostics took the ancient capital of Mare-Lorraine, they seized the royal house and cut off the king's head. After a second civil war, the Queen of the Old Blood was restored to the throne, and she has sworn revenge on her father's killers. Now, famous bounty hunters and great adventurers are tracking down the regicides. Some for glory, some for gold, and some for a personal vendetta. But you are not great adventurers or legendary heroes. The trail is wicked and slippery. The Gnostics still have loyalists and spies, so agents of the Queen won't give out intelligence on their enemy to just anyone. Fame and fortune, no doubt, await the ones who bring in Peter the Huge and the other Gnostic leaders to justice. But not only are they hiding in all corners of the world, but even clues to their whereabouts seem to be secrets. As up-and-coming adventurers, you'll have to start small. If you can prove your usefulness and skill to the Sergeant of the Senate, you may get called on for more prestigious and lucrative targets. But for now, you have to make do with what you have. And so you stare, centered among the mugs of warm ale and grubby candles, at your only clue. At the king's execution, one of the masked guards on the scaffold was seen mopping up some of the royal blood with his handkerchief. And now you hope this macabre souvenir will be the fool's undoing. On the fraying piece of linen, easily visible through the rusted blood, a name is embroidered in black thread. Tom Maggi. Your team has spent their last gold on this trinket and the location of his last known residence. The rest is up to you. Your mission? Kill or capture Tom Maggi to get the attention of the Sergeant of the Senate. If you succeed, that will lead you to your next step in ensuring justice is served to the killers of the king. All right, what are you doing?
Seems fairly straightforward. We simply capture this fellow, drag him in, and let someone else do all the killing business. Just ponderously light the end of his cigar on the candle and take a big puff.
What do we know of this Tom Maggi? Like, is he a fighter? Or is he like a noble? Like,
He's a revolutionary and a Gnostic.
He's a
You know that he was hired muscle. He was one of the guards holding a halberd on the scaffold there. You know that his last known residence is in the sort of dingy alley in sort of the slums of town. In fact, it's across 3 canals from where you guys are currently residing. You could probably get there by skulking across town, but you might be seen by some loyalists or some people who are still loyal to the Gnostics. An alternative approach is you can take the sewers underneath the town, but, you know, it's kind of dangerous down there.
Danger doesn't scare me. I think we should go down into the sewers and pursue this felon.
I mean, or we could just, you know, take the streets and not tell everyone what we're doing.
yes, like.
Are you scared of the sewers? Do they frighten you?
Well, it's just Millicent always wears white archivist gloves, as she refuses to take off. She goes, well, you know, I don't really want to get dirty.
Plus, like, what would tip our hand going up there? Like, we can just be visitors to this lovely city, right? It's a lovely city.
We'll start asking questions, and then someone's seen us going somewhere, and word gets around, and suddenly, before you know it, there's a dagger in between whichever of your ribs you prefer. Not certain where your heart is, but...
Okay, we can go by the sewers, but if I get dirty, you know, I won't be happy.
Then we'll buy you a bath.
Not really being paid to be happy, are we?
You know that when the Gnostics reigned, they also had some forms of psychic magic, right? Like their agents were always hunting down people, finding counter-revolutionaries. And so you know that they have some ability to discern the future or some clairvoyance. You don't know if it's trained on you yet, but when you acquired the handkerchief, you did leave somewhat of a trail. It's risky, but you don't have red flags like over your heads yet.
Yeah, I want as much surprise as I can, so sewers sound pretty great. As disgusting as that is, yes.
Yeah, and this Tom Meiji sounds like a you know, sounds like he was in on it. You know, rubbing the blood. That's a very sort of Gnostic thing to do, a bit. But we should probably try and keep him alive. Maybe he'll lead us to some more names.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too, unless unless the situation escalates. But I'm up for taking him alive, trying to get our next clue.
He's a Gnostic. Of course, the situation will escalate. They killed the head. They took the head off the king. They didn't issue diplomatic protest. We're going to have to be ready for a fight. I trust you still remember how to do that.
Oh yeah.
I've got no problem killing.
Oh, I know.
Gnostics.
Right. Well, then let's stop babbling and let's get to the sewers. And he kind of throws back the drink that he had, slams it on the table, and gets up and starts walking.
All right. Sounds good. So I just want to let you know that we have reached our first viewer incentive, right? So, Turk, among Blaze's, go ahead and roll a d4.
Oh, sure thing. That's a 3.
All right. So in addition to, however, the 3 cigars that you have left, right? Your 3, okay. You have 1 high-quality cigar. You know that if you take a minute and puff on it, it will restore 2d4 plus 2 hit points.
Very nice. Yes, he has that one safely packaged away in his breast pocket. I suppose the other 2, which are only mostly safely kept away.
All right.
Oh, and before we go, Millicent probably, as you're getting ready, starts talking, you know, getting really into talking about her runes and stuff to anyone who's interested, and she can give one of you a rune of gravity, which can give you advantage on strength saves to avoid being moved, and one of you a rune of vision, which gives someone dark vision or extends the dark vision.
Well, can't really speak for the others, but I don't imagine dark vision will be too much of a problem once things kick off in the sewers. Oh, wait. Yes, it actually will. If you could potentially possibly help someone who wasn't gifted as much or in the specific ways by the gods, I would be eternally grateful.
Kandrika, do you want the dark vision or the strength one?
Oh, sorry. I'm still learning name. I'm trying to actually see if Dragonborn have dark vision or not. I think I have dark vision.
You're an infernal dragonborn, so you have superior
Sorry.
dark vision. You
Oh,
can see
there
up to
you go.
120 feet.
So, Blaze, do you want the dark vision one?
Well, I'm very interested in bumbling around the dark, dingy sewers, but if you're going to rob me of that experience, I suppose I can be persuaded.
Great, and Kandrika, I'll give you the strength one if that's okay.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right. So you guys make your way. You're gonna wait until nightfall, I presume, right? Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah. And then you make your way down into the sewer system. The city is crisscrossed with all sorts of canals, and some of them dip down subterranean where they mesh with the outflow and bile from some of the upper houses. Down here, it's all grim and grimy. The smell is absolutely overwhelming.
I am ever so glad we chose this option. I
So-
don't think I'll ever forget it.
As an archivist, I'm very concerned about what this atmosphere is doing to my papers.
As someone who has a nose, I'm concerned about what it's doing to my clothes.
Yes, it's very
You're-
sensitive. It's making me disoriented a bit.
With respect, Blaze, your nose is temporary. These documents are for the generations of the future.
Oh, I think you'll find this note will be passed down through many generations if I have anything to say about it.
All right. Your voice, your careful footfalls, even your labored breath reverberate off the slime-coated stone walls of the maze-like sewer complex. A channel of putrid, brackish water runs through these tunnels, imperceptibly deep, occasionally lapping up onto the narrow stone banks or flowing through inlets and outlets. A stench, unlike anything you've experienced prior, is ever present, burning through your eyes and nostrils and tingling your throat. And all the while, strange sounds reach your ears from an unknowable direction, echoing like notes through a wind instrument. That description is brought to you by our sponsor, dScryb. So, go ahead and everybody, as this overwhelming stench like sort of permeates your whole being, go ahead and make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw.
Ooh,
Did not make that.
23.
That's a
18.
pass. That's a pass.
18.
I did not pass with a 9.
Oh. All right, so Jamal, Orion, is that how we're saying that?
Yeah.
So Orion is poisoned, right? Like this, like you just all of a sudden just like hurl up vomit into the sewer system, right? And like the cold sweat like runs down your brow.
I'll go ahead and come over to you and just kind of like pat you on the back as you're upheaving. Like, it's all right. It's all right. Walk it off.
It'll be fine.
Do we-
Oh, Jesus.
Do we have something
Try
to
not to
cover
breathe.
that nose?
Goes
Yes.
ahead and grabs like a piece of cloth off of something and like gives it him to be able to wrap it around. Uses like a scarf.
Yes, just cover my face with it like, guys, blessings, please. Oh, tell me we're almost there. Tell me we're almost there. And it could have been only like 5 minutes and we've still got an hour to go, but that's his normal chant now for like as long as he's throwing up and feeling sick.
We're almost there.
Yeah. So as you're like sort of like doubled over and trying to get there, that noise that you heard earlier, that sort of echoing throughout the hallways, it keeps getting louder and louder. You're not really sure if it's just like your headache pounding, but then all of a sudden like you look up and you're definitely sure, like everyone else is sort of looking around too. What started off as just a small like is now becoming louder and all present. A constant patter against the walls, and now a screeching and chirping gets on with it too. Going straight ahead, you see like the darkness seems to almost shimmer. And then it moves closer and closer. And then all of a sudden, things come out of the dark tunnels towards you within 120 feet. You can make out swarm after swarm of giant rats. All right, so let's go ahead and roll initiative.
All right.
These dice do not like me tonight, but
You know what? I got one high, one low. It's all right.
6.
That is not great.
Oh, I've got one better. 1.
Okay, wait, guys. I rolled poorly. I set it up. You're not allowed to roll worse than me now. Come on.
I rolled a 2 and I have a -1.
I'm sitting smugly on my 11.
See, thank you.
There
You're
you
doing a
go.
lot better than me. I have a 10.
Oh, come on.
And his average.
Average.
The perfect
Respectable.
human initiative.
All right, I'm sorry for that, everybody. You have to give me the numbers again. I sort of, I lost my pen.
Ah,
Good.
But I know they're all bad.
Yeah.
I got a
6.
1.
I have a 10.
got a 6.
All right, so 6 for Orion, 10 for Blaze,
11 for Millicent.
11 for Millicent. And Michelle?
Got a 1.
1 for Kandrar. Wow.
Yeah. Nah.
Okay. So, Millicent, you are a halfling, right? So just beyond the field of your vision, right? Cran went ahead and told you that she could see rats coming. You can't make them out yet, but you can know that chirping at the end of the tunnel, that's what it is.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I think I'm actually a human, but yes. Because I've taken it's variant human, I think. Yes,
yes.
Variant human. But yeah, I can see. So I can hear the things are coming. I'm going to they're 120 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to manifest gravity 30 feet ahead with my action.
Okay. So take your action and boom. With a loud like your room sort of manifests there into a swirling black void. All right, so why don't you go ahead and say tell everyone what that does. What does your manifested rune do?
My manifested rune, this rune appears 30 feet ahead, and for 1 minute, objects in the radius of 10 feet from it are it manifests a radius of 10 feet from the center of it, and creatures that attempt to move away from the center must make a strength save or fall prone.
Excellent.
And then I can do future things based on that point. I can like damage stuff in future turns if I wanted to.
Awesome. So you sort of like blocked off the sewer with this rune, so everyone who tries to get past it's gonna have to try to stop.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, Blaze. So what are you gonna do now?
Now, to be clear, the rune, I can still shoot through that, right?
Yes.
Ooh. Then he's going to take a big drag on the cigar and dust a few embers into his hands and extend and chuck his 120 feet. He's going to try and hit him with a firebolt.
Excellent.
As it goes popping off like a bunch of sparklers towards that swarm. You really like rolling 8s, don't you? Okay. That's I can do real good math if I don't think about it. 13 to hit.
Yeah, its AC's only 12.
Fantastic. Then I have a new damage roll for you. That's going to be 6 fire damage.
Okay, so you hit one chunk of the swarm, right? You knock off like 2 or 3 rats, and you see them like sink below the surface, not to get up again. But still, like this endless swarm seems to be coming right at you.
I'm gonna just kind of step behind everyone as you continue. I'm going to let you all handle this. I'm pretty sure I paid most of you to do that.
All right. So after Blaze, the swarm just keeps coming, right? So now you can see rats just keep coming. They're running right towards you, also seemingly completely oblivious to the fact that you're hurling bolts of fire at them. They seem to be just mindlessly running forward towards your position. So Arayan, you probably have one more turn before these rats are right on you, or at least up onto the rune that's marked. What are you gonna do?
Gonna take out my long bow and just try to take a shot, even though I'm poisoned. So looked it up. I've got disadvantage on attack rolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay, let's see what that does. So my lower one is 13.
Yeah, that will still hit, right?
Thank God.
Yes,
All
even
right.
though you're like doubled over, you can still like pull back and like shish kebab like 2 or 3 of them just because there's so many coming.
All right, and look at this. I didn't grab a D8. Don't worry. I've got everything but a D8 on me, but I can use a digital one real quick.
Stick 2 d4s together.
That changes the
glue
math
them.
of it, though, because my minimum is only a 2. As long as you're okay with it.
Oh gosh, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant you like literally glue 2 D8s or 2 D4s together and make a new one.
Yeah, there you go.
So let's see here. So 6 damage total.
Fantastic. All right, so you guys have killed like 1/4 of these things together, right? These are, just not normal sized rats. These are giant rats that are coming at you.
Rodents of unusual size.
Yeah, so you've killed like 12 out of like maybe the 50 that are here so far.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, right? Definitely not good. All right, so Cran at the bottom of the initiative order, right? What are you doing?
All right. Kandrakar is saying a blessing under his breath. That's why he has a 1 initiative, as he's taking a time to say a quick prayer. And he walks past Orion and lays a clawed hand on his shoulder and says that Set-Ra will have no dominion over you today, and is going to go ahead and cure you of your disease with his lay on hands ability, and is going to continue walking past him, pulling out his great axe, putting up his shield, and just walks towards the rune that's on the floor, waiting for the rats to come.
Fantastic. All
That's just
right.
That is my
flavor.
turn.
Whew, guys.
All right. So Millicent, after you finish like placing your rune out there, you can see the rats are still coming. You have about a moment more before they're right on top of you. What are you doing?
Okay. First, can I see whether I can see if there's anything chasing the rats? I'm just noticing they're all kind of running mindlessly towards us and wondering, are they running from something?
Not that you can see, no.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my action for when they are the main body of the rats have gone into the rune. I will then erupt the rune with my action, causing them to make a strength save or pull to 10 feet to the center and take 1d6 bludgeoning damage if they hit another creature. So they all like whack against each other in a big clump.
Nice. Sounds good.
So I'm just like I've just got on my book and like turned to the right page and just ready to sort of like erupt it when they get over the spot.
Absolutely perfect. All right. So Blaze, you see Millicent in front of you, like frantically flipping through a book, muttering words underneath her breath. Your last cigar just went sort of into the brackish water at your feet. What are you doing?
He'll stomp that out, of course, just to, it's a sewer, but you don't need anything lighting up. No, who knows what people are putting in their food these days. And he'll survey the scene, and the rune hasn't detonated just yet, yeah?
No, not yet.
Okay. In that case, he's actually going to move up and kind of start rubbing his hands together with some moss he produces from his pocket. And I'm going to hold an action to reach out and produce flame when these things are potentially stopped.
Okay.
This is going to work, isn't it, Millicent?
Yes, I think so.
You think so?
So just as she says, I think so, the rats come, right? They hit that room right in the center and poof, it goes off. You left your erupt voice, and all of a sudden the rats... Nat 20.
No.
Nat 1.
There we go.
And then second Nat 1 and a 7. So 3 out of the 4 remaining swarms fail their save. They just keep bump, 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 bump right back into each other, right? Boof. Yeah. All right. So you manage and go ahead and let out your produce flames.
Yes, I'm going to try and set them on fire. Oh, that's a 19. Damn it, could you do one better? So that's going to be a hit, rolling a 19 flat out. So that is going to be... Here's D8. I almost didn't have a D8 either. That's going to be 6 fire damage, and it's going to keep burning whichever pack I touched.
All right. And what was the bludgeoning damage from the rune?
1d6.
Yeah.
So it's a 4.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you roll for each creature or just take one for one.
Yeah, I've been doing it for the different swarms. I'm just going to do it for all of it. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, between the two of you, the rune going off with a whoom, and all the rats bumping their heads into each other, and then poof, going off with the produced flame. You have this sort of flaming mass that's on top of the water, right? And then you hear the screams of these rats that they fry sort of echoing horrifically off of the caverns. Cran, maybe that reminds you of your vision of the hellscape, right? This constantly squealing of torture and fire. Ooh. Orion, right? Mm-hmm. So you can see that there's still like some rats who have managed like to climb up on top of their kin and like scurry around the walls. There's maybe like 4 or 5 giant rats still swarming towards you.
Gotcha. Well, I'm shaking off the poison and the sick and regaining my constitution. It's like, thank you so much, Kendra. Then like takes a sniff and is like, they'll never see it coming.
Inspiration.
Yeah. All right. And I will take a shot at one of the mounds. Nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
Woo. So, I love you. I love this. Okay. Forgive me. What are our rules for that 20?
You double the dice. You get to roll your dice twice.
All right. So
See you, Johanna.
All
Thanks for
right.
joining the stream.
12 damage.
Nice.
All right. So yeah, all the remaining rats that you can see, like just one right after another, like you got line up 2 in a row, and then you got like a bonus arrow just out of the 2 with your nat 20. And you managed to skewer another, the last 2 rat, or the last other 2 rats.
Thank God, that could have looked really pathetic. They'll never see it coming, and I missed. Like, yeah.
Well, that's why they wouldn't see it coming.
All right, Cran. So just as you, like, for a second you think that the swarms have stopped, right? And then just at the very cusp of your dark vision, you see some more rats. But these ones aren't running along the ground. They seem to be floating in midair. And they're coming towards you.
How far away are they?
Just at the edge of your dark vision, about 120 feet.
All right. And there's still the glyph in front of me? Or has
Yeah.
that gone away?
It's still there, and it's like rats are like randomly like pinballing around, but they're all dead at this point.
Okay. I feel like he would just brace for them coming towards him and ready in action to swing his axe.
Okay.
He's not letting anybody pass this line.
All right, so you take a few deep breaths, maybe take a step forward to the front line, and just brace yourself for these rats sort of floating towards you in midair.
Cord, give me strength.
All right. Millicent, so your rune has sucked all the rats in vroom, to a central point, and they're sort of stuck there dead. What are you doing?
But there's a couple, the floating rats kind of behind that still. That
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to, this time, I'm going to use my enhance voice on the gravity rune, which will give Kandrakar 1d8 plus 3 on his next damage roll from a melee weapon.
Nice.
And yeah, that's it.
Okay. So Blaze, right? You see your other 2 comrades sort of bracing themselves. And then if you really, really squint, like maybe far off in the distance, right? You're just barely beginning to see like these things floating towards you. Like these huge rats filling the entire sewer hallway.
Just look over at Millicent. That you're not doing that, right?
Me, she flicks through another sort of thing in her archive and go, I don't think so, no.
I was going to burn them anyway. Well, let's see if they like it hot. And he's going to...
Inspiration!
And I'll use that right now. And he's going to shoot off another firebolt at their oncoming swarm, which thankfully I did, because that would have been a nat 1. Instead, that is going to be a 12.
All right. So your fireball goes, and you try to aim it to the rats that sort of floating there, but it seems to stop. And sort of like the fireball goes out.
I suppose they didn't.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for damage.
Yeah. Oh. All right. That's gonna be perhaps mathematically appropriate 1 fire damage.
Yes. So your fireball just goes, sort of fizzles in the air.
But that's worth noting, I suppose.
Cool. And the rats move towards you. While the other ones were running really, really quickly, these ones are moving like impossibly slow. So you might have a few more rounds to sort of prepare yourselves. What do you folks want to do?
Kandrakar has no range. So
All right. Orion, or Orion.
Let's see.
You see like 6 or 7 rats just sort of moving slowly towards you, floating in midair. All sort of like frozen in place.
That is odd. We just saw Blaze fireball just kind of just fall apart before it reaches him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to try to take a shot, see if this is a thing.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
I rolled a 19, so I'm assuming that's going to hit.
Yeah, right. So you take a slow, steady pause, release to your finger, the arrow shoots out, it goes, flies, and then it stops, and then slowly progresses, and then just stays in place in midair.
Guys.
What sort of infernal magic is this?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Here.
You can go ahead and roll for damage, though.
All right. 4.
All right. So that's Arayan's turn. All right, Corinne. So you're standing there at the front line, like, this
Can I
is
make
weird,
a-
man.
Can I make either an Arcana check or he thinks it's some sort of infernal thing?
Yeah, you can
so-
go ahead and make a religion check to sort of search your mind for demons that might be doing this.
Yeah. It's always freaking demons.
Demons, man.
That's a 21. For
21.
religion. As he just kind of squints at it and is like, what demonic presence is this?
Yeah. So you know that there are demons who will just collect dead bodies and hide invisible and sort of puppeteer them around. But these rats are just staying there. Nothing that you know in your demonic lore would explain the sort of stopping in slow motion.
Okay.
All right. So you guys will just pause for another minute and just wait. This thing gets closer and closer.
Is there any like
closer.
object mixed in amongst these rats?
Now that it's getting closer and your superior dark vision's allowing you to see a little bit better, you can see all sorts of debris floating there. Sticks, odd bits of coin, buckets, and bones. Whole bits of a snake sort of floating in midair amongst the giant rats.
Now, Millicent, you're certain this isn't you.
I dispel my my gravity thing. Just go. No, I don't know. Sorry, this is definitely not me.
Well, what is it?
More importantly, do
I'll-
you think we want to actually face this?
Can I do a? I'm going to flick through my archive quickly and do like an Arcana check or something.
Yeah, I mean, this thing's about 30, the rats are probably like 30 feet away from you now, so
Okay,
if you wanted to make another action, now's the time.
Is it? Yeah. So is it my go to do an action then?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. I think. Does the rat look like it? Does it look a lot? Is its eyes open? Can I see if its eyes are open?
One of there's like 7 of them floating, and one of the rats' eyes are open and is dead. Like, it's just lifeless.
Okay, right. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna put my gravity thing back up again to kind of like hold them in place a bit more. So my gravity manifest voice.
All right, and so you speak that word again. The happens as your rune reactivates, with the desire to pull anything towards it. And even as the rats get there, like you sort of like see like the light bending around your rune. Blaze, what are you up to?
Oh, I don't know. Stepping back, letting everyone else potentially touch this thing first, and I'd actually like to take a moment to kind of scan this tunnel because I've gotten this fancy schmancy dark vision word thing handled from Millicent. Might as well see if there's anyone with their hand around the corner trying to pull anything on us.
All right, go ahead and make a wisdom perception check.
All right. 19.
All right. So with a 19, you notice nothing behind you, nothing on the sides of the walls. But you do notice that there's like a sheen dead ahead, right, where the rats are coming towards you. Like the air seems to shimmer, maybe like 3 feet before the first dead body. That's now within 20 feet of our front line.
So there's a sheen as if it's like some kind of like glamour kind of thing?
Yeah, like there's like almost like a sheet of saran wrap floating in the air. All right.
Something's not quite right with that. We might not want to be touched by it. There's something shining in front of it.
Yeah.
Is there another path that we might be able to take?
Yes, the one we came down. Or will we run away?
Not an option.
Well, now's the time to decide because this thing is coming right up on you. All right. So Lorraine, right? You're probably like 10 feet away. This thing's just up on Crane's toe. She's about to take a swing at this rat who's about maybe 5 feet away from him.
Okay.
It's your last chance to act. What are you doing?
All right, so I'm curious, and this feels magical, or it sounds like it's either magic or just something that I don't see every day. So a part of me is a bit excited, but like, God, I hope I don't get screwed by this. But this world is so dry. Finally, a bit of taste and flavor to it, and we'll like pick up like my pike, swap out, and it has some range on it because I can hit 10 feet with it, and just try to make a jab at it and see if I feel myself slow down as I try to put any pressure towards the rat
All right.
or the mob of the Sheens.
So go ahead and make an attack roll.
Use that inspiration for nothing. I rolled a 2 and then a 3, so
Got one out of
no
it.
dice.
I mean,
Skim.
a 3 plus what's your attack roll?
Well,
4?
the pike it's just a +3, so it's like
6?
6.
Okay, well, believe it or not, as you try to hit the rat, right, you sort of jam forward, and all of a sudden, like, boom, boom, your spear gets sort of stuck right there. You still manage to push through and then pull it back. And as you pull it back, something splashes back on your face, and you just feel like a tinge of acid against your cheek.
Ah.
So go ahead and roll for damage.
Oh, I do have one of those, so that's perfect. 7 damage.
All right. Very cool. Okay. And so, Cran, this rat is about like maybe 5 feet away from you. If you want, you can just take one step forward and just whack it.
I have a question actually.
Mm-hmm.
Are the rats only on the walkway, or are they actually covering the entire
There's like
sewer
7 of them
passage?
at different like depths, maybe up to like 10 feet beyond the first one.
But is
and-
like the shimmer thing happening over the water as
Yeah,
well?
the entire passage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like an oncoming wall.
Yeah. All right, then yeah, he'll go ahead and whisper a quick prayer and then reel back with his axe, holding up his shield, and just with all of his might go down on one of the rats.
All right, so go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Okay. That's fine. That's still a 13. Is that
Yeah.
right?
So you
Okay.
try to attack the rat, but you don't quite make it, right? As you swing forward, like maybe like halfway through your swing, your arm sort of like hits like this cold goo, right? That's sort of invisible to you. You just feel like your arm like slow down and your whole arm just like burns with acid. You take 10 points of damage.
Okay.
So go ahead and do damage with your axe though.
Okay. So that's 7 plus 2, 9 damage.
All right.
Oh, plus the 3, so that's 12. 12 damage.
Nice.
Because it was a D8 plus 3 that was the extra, correct?
Yep. All right. And then so there at the very, very front, go ahead. All of a sudden you feel like your body just completely engulfed, right? Like you just like got dunked into a swimming pool, but one that's cold and thick, almost like chowder. You feel your breath be constrained. You can no longer breathe. And go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
With advantage.
With advantage.
Oh no, it's against being moved. It's against being moved. Sorry. It's only against being moved.
That is a 15.
15. So you were barely able to just like pull yourself back from whatever it was that just consumed you. But still the experience hurt you pretty bad.
Okay.
Oh.
Can I still, am I still able to speak?
Yeah, you managed to pull yourself out of it, but you still took 7 points of acid damage. Yeah.
Additional. Okay. On top of the 10
Yeah.
that I took?
Mhm.
Okay. As I pull back from that, I am whispering a prayer and also casting as a bonus action healing word to attempt to get some of my stuff back.
Oh, you got to do that on your turn.
Oh, I thought it was still my turn.
No, that
'Cause
was
I only took an action.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Just continue on. Yeah, go ahead and heal your word stuff. That's just fine.
Okay.
What's the healing word of the day?
I think it's just Cord give me strength at this point.
Cord?
Cord! God damn it, Cord!
All
I
right.
will not fall to set raw today.
All right, so Millicent, right in front of you, you see your friend almost get like sucked in, and she comes back out, or he comes back out with sort of like coughing and sort of yelping
Not
from this
looking
pain.
good.
Okay. Do I? I've got a feeling like this is maybe some sort of like cube, like gelatinous cube type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Am I, able to make a check about that, or can I just assume that?
Yeah, that's
How
fine.
does- Yeah. So yeah, I think Melissa's going to say, it's some sort of cube. Get back, get back. She's gonna she's gonna erupt her. Actually, no, that won't do anything for the cube. I think she is going to do enhance again on Kandrakar to give Kandrakar more damage, and also just use a move to sort of back up a bit.
All right, so you quickly skedaddle the other way and give a boost to your friend speaking the ancient rune language. All right, so Blaze, you hear Millicent scream out, "It's a cube! It's a cube!" And that's kind of confusing to you because the hallway's clearly like cylindrical, but
I don't quite know if that's geometrically accurate, but well, I've never been one to correct you. Important question. Kandrakar is still stuck in the cube?
no, he pulled himself back.
Fantastic. Then he's going to briefly be moved aside as Blaze reaches around him. You'll pardon me for a moment. I'm about to potentially do something amazing. And he's going to put his two thumbs together, reach out his hands, and burning hands are right down the way. So that's gonna be a dex
Fantastic.
save.
Fail.
All right, then you're gonna take 6 and 6 and 3 is most oftentimes when put together 15 fire damage.
Nice.
And just fire erupts from his hand, and he's just gonna give Ketchkar a pat on the back and just start, jogging, doing a little bit of a backtrack near where Millicent is. Yeah, well, should be good. I'll pop up if there's anything else needed.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You expect your flames to go straight forward normally, but here they sort of hit something, sort of spray out, filling up the entire wall in front of you, or making a wall of fire sort of in front of you.
Oh, I hope that thing doesn't pop.
All right, Orion, you see your one companion run back, the other one's standing firm, but he looks like he got hit pretty badly, and again, like these weird rats are sort of like floating in the space in front of you.
Okay, so face-to-face combat with this thing is nightmarish. How far does this cube thing seem to move every turn? Like, we've seen it kind of slowly move towards us.
Pretty slowly, like maybe 15 feet a turn. So you have plenty of room to to back up, shoot, etc.
Gotcha. So I'll ask, because I know Kandrakar was kind of setting themselves in front for front-to-front engagement.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask Kandrakar, can you wield a pike?
Yes.
Yes. He says that I've got another plan myself that might be able to help.
Okay.
It looks like he's about to jump into the water.
Okay. All right. So then I will take a sting with my pike then, and then I will move back to give myself some space so it doesn't envelope me. Let's see this. Oh yeah, so 14.
Yeah, totally easy to hit now that you know what you're trying to not hit the rest but hit the nothingness.
Yes. Ah, shit, yeah. That is 11 points of damage.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. Boom. And then I will pull out and then take a few steps back.
All right. And so again, this time you're ready for it. You manage to dodge out of the way as this slick bit of acid shoots past your head. All right. Karan, you're right there. What are you doing?
All right. Kandrakar is going to dive into the water and actually try to swim behind the ooze.
All right. So
And-
trying really hard not to think about what you're about to do. You take a deep breath and swim under, the poopy water.
Water.
Dive under,
Blump.
go through get back up onto the other side, just kind of shake off like as much of the muck from my face as I possibly can. Try to get up onto the other side as far from this thing as I can, with my 30 speed half for swimming and whatnot. And then I'm going to cast Command Duel against this ooze to essentially tell it that it should attack me.
Fantastic.
Away.
So it makes a whiz stays?
Wisdom DC is 13.
Fail.
It is compelled to duel me, and it has disadvantage to attack anybody but me.
All right. And so as you pop it back on the other side, you sort of mutter a holy command to this thing, and you see all these rats sort of like freeze in place and go, and then it slowly starts to shift the other direction towards you. All right. And then that's just going to be its turn. It just sort of keeps moving towards you for its entire turn. All right, Millicent. So you skedaddle backwards, and now you turn around, and the rats are moving the other direction.
Right. Yeah, Millicent's, so she can kind of see Kandrakar, I guess, sort of like vaguely shimmering through this mess. She's going to dispel the gravity manifestation as a free action. And I think she's gonna do the same. She's gonna give Kandrakar the enhance again, on the hope that's actually used. But that was an awesome move, by the way.
All right. Yeah. So the next time Kandrakar actually hits, it's gonna be a wallop. All right,
so
Blaze.
It stacks.
No, it doesn't. It's
okay. Because I already had the D8 plus 30.
It's until it's before the start. You can use it before the start of my next turn.
Okay.
So you've lost it basically by not using it. So I'm just giving you it back.
I apologize.
No. Honestly, I don't care. That was an awesome move, and it's brilliant. I love it.
All right, Blaze. So now these rats are sort of moving the other direction after you let your last scorching ray out.
Now I'm tempted to let him have all the glory, but what kind of symbol and leader to the rest of you would I be if I did that? An asshole. And he's going. I'm gonna firebolt out again.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Soot and try and spark him up. That's gonna be an 18 to hit.
Yep. Hit it.
And that is gonna be 5 fire damage.
All right. And so as that firebolt hits, right, it sort of spreads out. This one penetrates a little bit deeper, and you start to see some of the rats sort of like fall and lose their position.
I think I'm melting it. It's melting.
All right.
What a world.
So as Blaze sort of like shouts that, joyous proclamation over your shoulder, what are you doing, Orion?
Orion was like, oh, that was quite sick. Bless Akba. Yeah, keep yourself protected there, Kandrakar, and we'll go in with the pike and try to take another stab at this thing in the back with no honor, but fuck it, we're here.
Yeah, you know what? It's a cube. Maybe not have a front or a back. That's all right.
Nobody will mourn its death.
Inspiration.
Okay, so rolled 17.
Yep, that will hit.
I feel like it's gonna hit, and this time I'm gonna not bad. 6, so 7 damage, and I'm gonna use I'm gonna use one of my combat superiority dices to add to that.
Nice.
7. 14 damage.
Perfect. All right. Ooh, that's you're almost getting there, right? This whole, you can see as you're hitting it again, like it's starting to melt just a little bit more, like the rats are starting to fall even as it moves towards Can. All right, so Can, you're sitting there, like you can start to see the sheen start to like drip now that you're aware of it into the water around your feet. You can start to see it pool up. This thing is almost destroyed, whatever it is, but you probably have one last chance to really make it count.
All right, so sorry, Kandakar's turn.
Yep.
was counting dice. All right.
Always a good sign.
Oh, you gotta love when a paladin starts counting dice.
He's trying to beckon this thing towards him to just compel it to go away from his companions. And as it gets closer and closer, he kind of like tosses up his axe a little bit, and pulls it up, says a prayer, and then comes in. And as he pulls his axe back, it just ignites with this like holy kind of like energy, and he's going to divine smite this thing.
All right, it's got 17 hit points left. Let's see if you can do it all in one go before it gets to you.
That's definitely gonna hit with a. It's 24 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So, how many dice? I think I need one more die.
Not enough dice.
Ooh.
Always good.
That's a good roll. All right, so 14 plus 3 is 17 plus 5 is math. I think that's 12 plus, or 22. That's 25 plus an additional 2. That's 27 damage.
10 more than you needed, yeah. So you just cleave right through this thing, and then like all of us, it's like that scene in the first X-Men movie when the senator dies, just like poosh, just falls down and into water at your feet, right? You take a step back to avoid getting the acid splashed on your boots, but the rats fall, the little bits of treasure and clink, 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 all go down, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sick. That looks so sick. Like just this, I imagined like a glowing sword coming up, and I'm like, what's that flash of light? Oh my god.
And then there's just this grime-covered dragonborn, just covered in just ichor, that's just kind of like heaving on the other side.
All right.
That was awesome. As it splashes down, Millicent like turns around to shield her documents from any sort of splash.
Yeah.
I put my Millicent between me to shield myself from any sort of splash.
I'm kind of just like dumbfounded. I'm like, what god did you worship again? Because it was weird. It was weird, wild.
All of them. And he just kind of like gives a quick like shake, like not like a full-on like dog shake, but like enough of a shake to get some of it off, and then turns and continues walking down the sewer, like putting back his axe, and then putting his hand on his chest, and then healing himself up a little bit more, as he looks pretty bad.
Orion, Millicent, remind me later on to put him on the payroll.
That was pretty impressive, yeah.
Yes.
Though also remind me to get a prestidigitation or some other way to deal with it, given if that's going to be a common tactic of his.
Who's to say?
Doesn't care about the grime.
I do.
Kindercar gets the job done.
Yeah, it's like, where'd you find this guy?
Someone told you to get your hands dirty, and you're taking it very literally. Good for you.
All right. So as your banter continues, you manage to find the end of the sewer drain. You follow the map that you had drawn out and grab a piece of parchment and figure this is the ladder you need to go to get to the dark and twisted alley where the home of Tom Majay should be. You climb out of the sewer grate onto a street, and the shadowed alleys littered with debris wind their meandering way between tightly clustered row houses. The worn cobblestones between stagnant puddles are slick. The buildings are looming on either side. They seem to close in, crowding the already claustrophobic passage. The full moon casts its silver light, and in the distance, you see the object of your search. One lone shack, curtains drawn at the end of the alleyway. That's seen again by dScryb, written by my buddy Matt Click.
Nice. Okay. Is he with dScryb?
I think he just might be a contract writer.
Nice. Okay. Whew, we're out of the trash. As soon as we get, like, we break the sewer hold, I take a big, deep breath. It's probably still not a great area, but it's got to smell 10 times better than the sewer.
You're 100% going to pick up the freshly lit smell of a new cigar.
Yeah. Yeah, the pungent odor, sort of like fills your nostrils. And yeah, it just feels good to have something other than, poop up your nose.
Meanwhile, Kindercar just kind of like runs his hands through like the spikes on his back, and he's still got some grime. And he's just like taking in at least a little bit fresher air.
The commitment to, I love it. All right.
Let's get on with this then.
Yeah.
I do have other things I'd like to do with my future.
All right.
Then by all means, please be the first to knock on the door.
Oh no, I pay people for that. All right.
As you guys walk down the alleyway, other people start, closing their shutters and walking inside, and soon you are all alone. This shack meets the description that you had. Single story, next to a green painted door, and here the door seems to be closed. The shutters also closed, 30 feet away, and inside you think is the first. This is the resident of your first target.
All right. When I get close to the building, I want to just do a check. Can I hear any sound from inside? Like what time of, like, I assume it's the middle of the night, right? 'Cause we left at night. Any sound of movement from inside?
All right, go ahead and make a wisdom perception check. So I'm assuming that you're sneaking up and then putting your ear to the door?
Yes.
Okay.
17.
With a 17, you hear nothing. Stone silence on the other side.
Okay. Look around. So I've worked with Millicent before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Millicent or Blaze, do either of you have any like thieves tools, or have you shown a propensity for being able to unlock doors? Like, I'll try the door handle first. I don't want to follow that one D&D trick. Is the door unlocked?
So sort of pushing at it, there's a jam. Like it doesn't quite give.
Can I just like have a peek around behind us to the street, see if there's anyone kind of looking at us?
No, everyone seemed to go inside when you emerged from the sewers.
Yeah.
Oh, so something's happening. Something's about to happen. All right. Yeah. So I'll say this. I've got a little bit of strength, so I don't have any like thieves tools. So I'm gonna try to put some pressure and just try to like shove the door open.
Yeah. Let's just go in 1, 2, 3 and just raid the place.
All right. So you stack up on the door, Marine Corps style. 3, 2, 1. Mule kick the door down. Boom.
Yeah.
Door busts down. It's empty inside. You guys are a bunch of rookie bounty hunters, and you go to his residence and he's not there.
Well, has he got any food? Anything here?
Yeah. You can go ahead and investigate the house to see where your target might have been and get some clues to his whereabouts. So looking around the room, there are, it's a Spartan condition, right? This person was obviously a slob, didn't take care of themselves, didn't have a lot of money. There is a simple kitchen area with a single stove, a cupboard. There is a straw sort of like mat on some sticks that's serving as a bed, and a single nightstand, like pretty much just a box that's on its side that he's keeping belongings in. Do each of you want to try to investigate something?
Kindercar will go ahead and pick up a blanket or some sort of article of clothes that's on the floor and start to kind of clean himself off a little bit. And as he's looking around and doing that, he will try to see if he can't...
You know what? Go ahead and as you're doing that, go ahead and make a wisdom perception check. Like toweling yourself off.
Perception. 8.
Okay.
Not
So
that
you
great.
don't notice, right? But Blaze does. As you're tying yourself off, like the clothes just smell like awful, right? Like you're still like nose blind from diving into the poop stream. But Blaze notices that you're rubbing yourself over, like reeks like a tannery. Like it just smells like someone was coating these clothes with dead animal skins.
Oh, fantastic job. You found something that will certainly make you blend in the poorer districts more often. God, I spend most of my days covered in smoke, but not like that.
Anything to keep my appearance with the general crowd, I suppose. And he'll look to see if there's like any food or anything like that that would show any sign of like how recent this guy was here last.
All
My
right.
Good sir, you're a 6+ foot tall dragonborn. I don't think you do, common crowd. Embrace it.
So you walk over to, it's a pretty like threadbare kitchen, right? It's like a table and then like a stove. And then right there next to the stove, there is a bucket filled with dead crabs.
Do they look like they're molding at this point, or?
They're slightly old, but crabs are sort of hard to come by in the city, right? Like they're kind of a delicacy. And so in order to get them, you'd have to be like right there at the docks.
Right. This guy likes to frequent the docks and has a particular taste.
Yeah, so he likes to go by the docks, and his clothes reek of a tannery.
Millicent's gonna have a look around, see if she can find any documents. She's very much into documents.
Oh,
Has he
excellent.
got anything in the nightstand, bits of paper on the wall, anything like that?
Yeah, so go ahead and make investigation check, intelligence investigation.
I rolled a 14 plus 5, 19.
19. All right, so you do not have to look very hard to see some writing, but your 19 reveals all sorts of it. Like you just like dig in there and you don't stop. So all over they're like scribed in all sorts of places, right? Like he scratched it into his walls. He's, chiseled it into his bed. He's, scratched it on a piece of paper. All sorts of mutterings, right, about Gnosticism. But they're never like whole, like long theological arguments, just like one or two like quick phrases that sort of describe bits of their philosophy, right? Again and again, the truth will set you free. Again and again, that's written.
And maybe Millicent knows enough about it not to read. She kind of like doesn't read it too hard, so she doesn't get it doesn't get into her head, the Gnosticism stuff.
Yeah, so as soon as you start like reading it, you realize what's happening here, and you stop.
Yeah.
You have heard tales that the way people get into Gnosticism, right, is they just read it. They do their own research. And the more that they learn, the more it sort of gets into them. Like it's just a rabbit hole. Like the more they try to study it, the more they get kind of consumed by the belief.
She'll have learned that from her pub friend Shale, one of the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How fresh is that crab? Like, does it seem like it'll keep for a while?
The crabs, they're maybe like 2 or 3 days old.
Okay.
But you also notice, like, as you're going around, like, you find, like, his stacks of writing. One of them is sort of wrapped around a rosary. And the rosary is a religious trinket. So could someone go ahead and make a intelligence religion check?
Kindercar will go ahead and come up and, like, hold out his clawed hand to be able to see it.
All right.
And get a... 15
15.
for religion.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you recognize that this particular, it's a rosary. And at the very end of it is like a doubled gold sword. Like it's a sword that has like an additional cross piece on it. And you know this belongs to a very specific saint, right? Saint Elizabeth. And her shrine there's only one shrine to her in the entire city.
I relay this information. Might be a good place to find him.
Ah.
Yeah. Tannery, docks, like a religious atmosphere.
Yeah.
What are we closest to out of those things? Like, is there a well-known tannery in this city?
Close to the truth.
There's only
All right.
24-hour tanneries.
So you guys are starting to sort of piece this together, right? It has to be near a tannery, has to be near the shrine of Saint Elizabeth, and that's definitely a place by the docks that has all those things, right? There's only one shrine to her, and it is right next to a tannery area. They try to keep that by the harbor so they can just dump all their chemicals in. And you think you might have a good place to go. Like you definitely know the neighborhood. You're trying to think of, okay, where in this neighborhood might this person be? Not just by the docks, because this whole area is the docks, but one next to a tannery, not just any tannery, the one that's also next to the shrine of St. Elizabeth. So we have one more person who needs to make an investigation check.
Yes, well, rather than investigating anything particular, because again, we pay people for that kind of thing, he'll be generally supervising and eyeing over the room, paying attention to the decor and things like that. It's Spartan, but, can't really
All right.
fault it. It's going to be an 11.
An 11? What catches your eye there, Blaze, is, not so much the fact that it is, Spartan, not a lot of stuff in there, but how messy it is. This person never put any of their things away, and indeed, they seem to have someone else's clothes sticking out from underneath the bed.
I'm going to go over and put a boot down on that cloth and drag it out.
Yeah. So pulling out from underneath the bed, you see this is an apron and like a fat person's pair of pants. Yeah.
Kind of like hold it up to himself.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to fit.
And as you do that, like out of the pockets of the pants, 2 bottles crash, fall out and smash on the floor.
And I like look around at the others. My
What-
goodness, where
what
did those come from?
What sort of bottles? Like beer bottles?
Yeah, like beer bottles. And then you spend a
so-
minute.
I was thinking, is there a tavern, a pub, an inn near all those things that we know that we can go and speak to the chef?
Yeah. It takes you about 10 minutes, right, to sort of piece together the bottles that, Blaze, carelessly broke. The result of failing the check.
Implies I could have cared.
You piece together the bottles, and they
I've
have...
got mending, so I'll do it really well.
Never mind, I stand corrected. It takes you no time. You did not spend 10 minutes doing this. You spend 0 minutes. The bottles reassemble themselves together, and they are branded with a particular label that says the Drunken Whale.
Is Kandrakar familiar with this brand, being a connoisseur of alcohols and spirits?
If you were a fine connoisseur, you would maybe not know it. But if you were a fan of Fantasy World PBR, then yes, you know that this one particular beer is brewed on house on a ship bar.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and relay that to everybody.
Yeah.
That should be open about now, shouldn't it?
That should be open right about now.
Can we go and have a look?
Yeah.
Amateur bounty hunters, my ass. We're on fire.
But sure,
right.
I could use a drink.
Yeah. Same here. It's been a night.
It has been a night. All right, so you guys leave the dark alleyway and start to meander your way again to the short distance down to the harbor. The stench of a tanner fills your nostrils, and then down by the pier you see sort of moored there this floating ship. Ooh. Which you know as the bar called the Drunken Whale. And I think that's a good place to take a quick break. Sound good, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
All right, chat.
Yeah.
We will be back in, let's say, 10 minutes. Sound good?
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right, everyone,
Go
mute
for
your
it.
mics and let's go ahead and switch scenes. Thanks, everybody.
It's been awesome so far. Great.
All right, we're on mute on YouTube, so we can talk to each other without even being heard. You having fun so far, everybody's? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Poor DM. Oh man. I love it. I love it.
Is playing with that we're all in
Alrighty. We should be right here. That should kill that echo, and we should all be good. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hi there. Hello. We're back. Maybe chat will tell me whether or not I actually am working this out. Ooh. So we're on to part two of tonight's episode. You folks are after the killers of the king, and you are hunting down the first regicide on your list. You are low-level adventurers. You can't get contacts or information to lead to the big bounty people. So you're going after someone you know has just happened to be there at a low-level guard at the execution. You tracked him down by a handkerchief that was dipped in the king's blood. He had embroidered his name on it, and you tracked him down to his house. You kicked down the door of his home after... Well, you went through some sewers, fought some rats, and fought a gelatinous cube, and you pop back out the other side, smelling terrible like Annie Dufresne. But it's all right. You found this guy's residence. You stacked up in front of the door, kicked down the door, and he was not there. You investigated around, and you found some clues to where he might be. Next to a tanner, next to a religious shrine, next to a particular bar, and you narrowed it down to this floating ship called the Drunken Whale. As you're walking down there talking, you're started thinking about what brought you here in the first place. This cult called the Gnostics 3 years ago, or maybe 5 years ago, they started you started hearing whispers of people saying, the church, they're not quite right. Talking about the white church, who's been known to bring people back from the dead. If you believe and do good, you'll get to the realm of glory after you die. But you can stay here longer if you want. They can bring back do-gooders. Everyone can be blessed with the eternal life right here in the world. But soon you start to hear whispers that might not be so good after all. That your body is weak and corrupt. That maybe being stuck here is not such a good thing. Maybe death actually sets you free. This group called the Gnostics eventually started a civil war, an insurrection. They took over the city. They took over the palace. And then soon they took over the church itself. But a lot of people weren't happy with this, and that message didn't take you guys hold. You thought it was all crazy to begin with. Like, why would you want to join a suicide cult? Why would you worship the idea of something that could so easily kill you? Why would you want to die? So you're after the remains of this dangerous group and trying to get some revenge. Or you're actually all here for different reasons. So why don't we just go down the line real fast? Blaze, why are you after the killers of the king? What do you have against the regicides?
Well, sure, they killed the king, and that was all tragic and bad. And sorry, wait, I should do my proper thing. I'm going to try and work a tear out. But the important part was they also came for other nobles who weren't directly affiliated, which is rather rude. But the Brackenfield estate was ransacked, and we've lost our lands to these usurpers. Some matter of fact is, while everyone else is getting their lands reinstated, they've forgotten about House of Brackenfield. Probably because I'm the only one left. So, going to try and jog some memories with this job. And get those back. Maybe some more. Maybe some parties. Good engagement or something. Nobly things. Own money. Lots of that.
Yeah. All right, Can. Why are you after the regicides?
Kendrakar was plagued with these hellish nightmares and was hoping that the white church could ease them. But then everything changed when the Gnostics attacked. And now that is no more, he feels that he needs to exact revenge and justice upon those who killed the king, so that hopefully maybe these nightmares can subside and he can finally have some peace.
All right. So, Dom, why don't you tell us why Millicent is after the killers of the king?
Millicent was an archivist for the House Brackenfield, and she was there when in the First Civil War, where the house fell. It was attacked by Gnostics, and she saw her friends killed at the hands of the Gnostics, and they ransacked the archive, and she felt really guilty about she fled with some documents and she felt really guilty and overcome with grief for the loss. And also, she felt powerless, like she couldn't do anything to stop. She's as an archivist, she's meant to protect these documents, and she she did her best, but she wasn't able to. And also, since then, she met Shale, another one of the characters in a tavern, and Shale really she was an ex-Gnostic who managed to break herself out. She spat out the Kool-Aid, so to speak, and has has got Millicent, has radicalized Millicent against the Gnostics. She didn't go into too much detail. She doesn't like speaking about it to the character, but Millicent knows that these guys are bad and they deserve everything that they've got. So she's kind of seeking revenge for the documents that were destroyed, but also she knows these people are there's something wrong in the head and they need sorting out.
Yeah, they're no good. There's something wrong in the head. That's why in the previous scene when you were going through that guy's stuff, when you started finding his writings about the theology of Gnosticism, you stopped reading because you didn't want to be infected by the mind virus. All right, and Jamal, Orian's motivations are maybe a little bit different than most people, right? Like, he's not really in it personally. He just wants the...
Yeah, sorry, here. Yeah, so Orion is here is because Blaze money spends well. Like, the world is... I was tasked with a job of kind of bringing back my people and doing some great things for them, and I'm a bit disillusioned. I don't know if it's there. It's a possibility. I came here with the complete faith that would happen, but it's been 100 years, and oh man. But these are the first couple people that I know and that I start to kind of build some kind of trust with, and so their mission is kind of my mission until things kind of come together.
All right, and so you make you're right. These people are your people for the time being. And as you walk down your crew of 4 to the docks, you see one ship sort of floating there, right? Ships come in and out all night, but this one you can still see the lanterns lit. Folks milling about the port, and there is a sign sort of hanging off of the stern that has a whale upside down with next to a bottle, and you think this must be the floating bar called the Drunken Whale, where you found the smashed bottles from. It's sort of sitting there floating in the port, and there is a gangplank that leads up from the pier, from the jetty, up to the main deck. And as you're sitting there watching it from the distance, as you make your way down to the pier, you see 2 folks walk up, sort of cloaks and hoods. They walk up the gangplank, and they talk to somebody who's standing guard on the stern. He steps aside, and they walk in, and then go into the quarterdeck.
As we're walking in, I'm like, has anyone ever been to this place?
I don't know. Has anyone ever been to this place? Who hangs out in dive bars?
I would say I'd been to it in some nightmare or some other, but I didn't think that even that place needed a password.
It's possible that Kindercar went. He drinks a fair amount, but I'm not sure if this is necessarily his scene.
All right.
So, I don't think so.
No, this isn't my scene. I mean, I'd get dirty.
No, so this looks like it's an area, or this particular bar is unknown to all of you. You don't know apparently the passphrase to get into the speakeasy. You're about 50 yards away at this point. You can sort of like peek out from an alleyway across the pier, sort of see the ship moored there. So you have a minute to think about what you want to do, but the night is drawing on.
Should we wait for someone to come out and maybe just chuck him some money, and for the passphrase?
We could certainly grease
Or
the
bribe the
wheels that
guards.
way. Or bribe the guards, though this might be a hideout for those Gnostics.
It could be, and I'm not sure whether I'm overthinking this, but did you really think that that fellow Tom Magee is the sort to have a monogrammed handkerchief?
Not really.
You're having a revolution. I suppose you do have to spice things up a bit.
Well, maybe it's this evil Gnosticism. Maybe he was a lot more well-to-do when he got the handkerchief, and since then his life's gone a bit rubbish.
Yeah, so pulling out the handkerchief and examining it, you can tell that at one point it was fine linen, but now it's frayed along the sides. And the embroidering, you know what, Millicent, you're a rune wielder, you're all about, precision and marking things. Like, he did like a crap job, right? He looks like a 5-year-old might have stitched his name into it.
All right, so he's stitched. It's a linen one, right? Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because he's also like as an archivist. As an archivist, you got to do a lot about reading people's handwriting and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay, right. I just imagined a fine silk monogrammed one, but no, that makes sense.
Yeah, at one point it might have been nice, and he might have just like stitched his own name in it.
All right. Yeah.
So we could obviously wait here and ambush or pay someone off, or we could try and create a situation, lure the guards away into some darkness, and slip in while they're not paying attention.
It's only one guard, and it's just like a dude in a jacket.
I think that's over complicating it a little. I think we might be able to just either bribe him or bribe somebody who's already going there to just...
Well, Kandrakar, you can always go for another swim.
This might be for the best in this case.
I don't exactly see how swimming would help with this, as you'd still need to be able to... It's still going through like a door to be able to go in.
Well, it's a ship, isn't it? You can climb up the side. But that's probably okay.
But then you'd be on the dock, and then you'd have to go to the guard to go in.
Yeah.
So maybe unbeknownst to Orayan, but you've already spent the last of your money buying the handkerchief and the guy's location.
Right, okay, cool.
So maybe Blaze is keeping that bit of information from Orayan.
Just, as a thought, maybe we either persuade with our words and promissory notes, or you let me snuff out a lot of these fires here, and we see if we can't lure someone into the darkness.
Yeah, let's just walk and see if he even stops us, or she even stops us, and then we'll come up with on the spot if we need to kind of take care of a situation or cause a distraction or see who's good with words.
All right, everyone, think of a good Gnostic word.
I mean, no offense.
No one else take Gnostic. That's mine.
No offense, Lord Brackenfield, but you're very good at sort of like blustering people aside and marching around like you own the place. You maybe should try that.
It's worth a shot, isn't it?
Yes.
Well,
All right.
point, Millicent. I'd pay if we had any money.
All right, so who's taking lead up the gangplank?
I will bravely dust myself off and swipe off a bit of the grime from my shoes, and very carefully looking at this boat and then down to the water, and stiff upper lip to avoid looking out at the water with approach, with a cigar in my mouth.
Yes. So trying very hard to overcome your fear of the water, you walk over the narrow gangplank up there, and because your eyes are like so closed, you don't even notice until you're 2 feet away that the person who's standing there preventing your entry, sort of like the flag officer, I suppose, is actually a gnome standing on a barrel in a trench coat.
Respect.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's a gnome. It's got sort of like long braided hair on both sides. It goes, "Password, pal."
So did you just ask me for the password? Do you not know who I am? How dare you?
Well, you're not really my pal. He sort of replies.
Well, I'm about to be the person who can get you fired if you don't immediately let me into the establishment that my father personally owns.
Millicent behind him kind of goes like, kind of to the gnome, kind of goes like, makes eyes like, don't anger this guy.
Kindercar kind of growls at him, being this big imposing dragonborn.
All right. So as you drop the lie that my father personally owns, he sort of chuckles, right? He goes, and he gives you the nice try, buddy, and tells you to move on and beat it.
Well, that was my only thing. It's not Gnostic, is it? Password.
he sort of gives you this quizzical look. So he spits on the ground and tells you to beat it before they get the Drake.
Damn it. All right.
Is this guy like heavily armed or anything like that?
No, he just looks like, he might run a pawn shop in a previous life or something.
He's a gnome. He's got little arms.
Yeah. Little arms, like braided hair, even though he's like slightly balding at the same time. Big gut.
Okay.
No bad shave. Maybe a tattoo
Gosh,
that says
I
mom.
really want to just do something stupid. Do I have you guys' permission to just do something stupid?
Yes.
Go for
Okay.
it.
1,000,000 times yes.
All right, Kendrakar is just going to growl at him, and if he tries to stop him, he's going to literally like roar in his face, and then continue walking into this bar, saying that I just want a fucking drink.
All right, so go ahead and make a charisma intimidation check.
This Dragonborn smells like shit. He got dissolved a little bit. That is a 19.
19. So, yes. Yeah, it's pretty intimidating for this poor gnome to hear just usually go off, right? He doesn't go after you. He sort of like pauses for a second. During that momentary brief, are you guys going to try to scuttle in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow. It's like, sorry, just of course. It's a drink. It's just a drink.
Yeah. All right. And so you just sort of bluff your way past this person and all get into the bar. As you try to get in, Blaze, he makes sort of like a half-hearted attempt to like grab the back of your robe.
I will like turn and look at him, and my eyes will very lightly just burn. And do you know how expensive that is, and how inexpensive your life is in comparison?
Woo! All right. So, if I remember correctly, I think we sort of described your robes as being like threadbare and like sort of falling apart.
Yeah. They're not great.
They used to be, though.
They
Yeah.
used to be. Yeah, he's very
They're
bundled up.
vintage.
But
Yeah,
go ahead and make
it
an
used to be that
intimidation.
you spent- There's
Go ahead and make
got
a
3 years
charisma-
of guerrilla warfare damage on them.
For intimidation,
Yeah.
I have a 19.
All right. So the same sort of thing, right? It's just not worth it to get into right with it right now, right? He lets you go, and tries to start lighting up a cigarette of his own.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. As soon as that thing goes off, I'm gonna quickly like snap my fingers to control flames to have it go out. It's gonna just zip into his hand, and he's gonna just add it to his own cigar.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is
Oh,
a power.
snap. Yeah. He
Strong.
flicks a little butt of his homemade bludger off into the harbor. Crosses his arms and sort of like sits down on his barrel, kicking his legs.
It's adorable. It's like they just don't pay this guy enough.
Really don't.
All right. So as you swing open the door into the saloon part, it's a pretty like grimy tavern. Like the tavern that you met in was pretty bad. This one is slightly worse, right? It just smells like sailors. It smells like cheap booze. Off into the side right there, you see like 5 barrels, like huge barrels, like maybe 6 feet across, stacked on top of each other. And every once in a while, they'll pull out a small keg and sort of set it on the bar. There's maybe 5 or 6 tables. People, were bent over them, playing cards, shooting darts. And after a second, one of them, yelps out in pain as a dart like pierces his eye. Because grog and darts don't mix. But there is a staircase that leads up to a higher deck, and staying in front of the door in that higher deck, there are 2 muscly people, looking intimidating. There is also a roped off walkway that leads to a trap door. Like the trap door is like down like a short hallway, and the hallway is roped off. But the most prominent feature in this room, definitely in the corner, there is a caged lizard. Like a huge 6-foot-long wizard, sort of stumpy wings on it, huge tail. It is tied up and muzzled right now in the cage.
I'm going to take a very large leap and assume that's the wyvern. The drake, rather.
So remind me, did we have a mission to save a drake?
No, but does make you feel bad looking in his eyes, doesn't it? You should stop doing that.
Does seem cruel, doesn't it? Should we see if there's a cook or a bar, a large barman or barwoman?
Yeah.
With the clothes that Blaze found, with a male or female?
They looked like they might have been in male trousers. They had pockets. So
Just give them pockets.
It took me a second, and I was like, yeah.
So most everyone in this bar is a gnome, right? There are a few humans. The person behind the bar is a, heavy set human. Definitely got the big beer belly. The two guards at the top are humans, but nearly everybody else is a gnome. So the four of you sort of stick out like a sore thumb.
We're the tall guys at a short men's bar.
Man. Everyone's turning to look at us. Yeah, I want to wave down. Like, is there anyone who's like a bar wench or bar person?
Yeah, there's just the one heavy set man behind the bar. Everyone else is sort of like at their tables, minding their own business, except for the person wailing in pain because their eye just got put out by a dart. And then everyone's sort of kind of paying more attention to that than they are to you right now.
All right. Got no money, so I can't buy a drink, but we might. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bar. It's like, yeah, can I get a drink? Just a tall mug of ale or whatever you got.
Yeah, so you reach into your pockets. You maybe find like a few poor copper pieces, right, that you might have forgotten about. The last of your last payment from Blaze. You put it on there, and you get a mug of grog, right? The barman sort of looks at you. His eye sort of narrows suspiciously. Doesn't say anything, though.
It's like, is my money not good here? It spends, I guarantee you.
Sort of shrugs his shoulders, scoops the few copper coins off the counter, throws it into his apron pocket, which he notices is sort of identical to the one that Can was wearing earlier, or trying to wipe himself off with earlier.
I wonder if Tom works here. He's the only one here wearing that apron. He's the only worker we see here.
Pretty sure that's our guy.
Yeah.
Oh, we think this is Tom?
He's overweight.
It was
He
somewhat
works here.
It was described as, I don't know how we knew that, but I'm sure it was described as someone else's pants.
But they were big.
Yeah. I assumed that was somewhat a visitor. I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah,
Different
so
condition.
yeah, you found like a couple sets of clothes there, but one of them was especially big.
Yeah. So I think we could assume that that Tom wasn't the big guy, and the big guy was just staying over.
Well, then still, he might know where Tom is.
Yes, yeah, I'm gonna go to the big guy and say, oh hi, we're here for Tom about the crabs.
So he sort of looks at you. You look, kind of strange, I imagine, with your white gloves on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they white? Are they?
Yeah,
not at this
probably not
point.
Quite.
Started as white.
They started as white, but now they're definitely looking a little bit.
So go ahead and make a charisma deception check with advantage for remembering the crabs.
That's right. Come on. Oh, I rolled a 3 and a 2. So, yeah, my deception, I don't even have proficiency, so it is a +1, so a 4. I really don't look the part, do I?
All right. So the barman sort of looks you over and says, "I'll take care of hubby's crabs."
Uh,
A clue.
Boy, for the world. I love it.
oh, so oh, brilliant! You're his husband. So where should we put the crabs? What should we do with the crabs? I'll say.
Oh, like you brought them here. Oh, that's a horse of a different color then.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not the usual crab person. What should I do with them?
He points up to the second story right there. The two guards, looks down. She gives a quick nod, and he tells you to bring them up there.
I say, oh, thank you. Yes, first day on the job, and I show my sort of like quite white gloves as like as a showing that I'm new on this. So yeah, right. Should we go upstairs then?
Yeah.
He says, "Get the crabs and then bring them up." You are kind of slow, aren't you?
Yes. Sorry. This is all new to me. Right. We'll get the crabs and then bring them up.
He sort of shakes his head and goes back to, sort of tapping the kegs and doing dishes.
Oh my gosh.
Let's run back to the house. Get the crabs. I mean, let's hope he doesn't inspect. I doubt the people at the little rope are going to inspect the quality of the crabs. So, what do you say?
I'm sorry, I'm holding myself back from a lot of comments about giving crabs to someone.
He was going to take care of Hubby's crabs himself.
Yes, well, there's a lot of topical ointments for it, I suppose.
Honestly, I feel like it's the best play. Unless we got something else, run and grab some crabs. Like, how far away is the place?
Like 10 minutes. 10-minute walk, so you can maybe run there in 5 minutes and come back all winded.
Yeah.
And contend with the fact that you have an angry doorman.
Yeah.
I will purposely not leave.
I'll shout to the barman again. I say, oh, sorry. What was the password again? I'm sorry. First day to get in, I had to kind of.
Oh, clever play.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He turns back around and says, "Dragon spit."
Thank you.
All right. Cool.
Brilliant.
I'll go with you to get crabs if you want to go grab the crabs.
Yep. So yeah, all right. So yeah, well, I'll go back with Orion to get the crabs from the house.
I hope that little like gnome or dwarf out front was able to actually light their cigarette in peace now.
If the door is opening and I'm getting a line of sight on that, I will steal the fire on that again. But it'll just zip back inside.
All right. So are two of you staying to go in the bucket of crabs and two of you remaining here in the bar? Or are you guys all going to go back?
I think we should stay. We were a little bit, we made him a little bit mad.
Yeah.
Best not to tempt that. Perhaps we could check out a little bit more about this Drake while we're
Yes.
here.
Very interested in that.
All right. So you two literally run out there. Go ahead and roll a d12 for me as you run back to the house and run back again.
Each.
Just one.
Do you want to do it, Jamal?
Oh no, this is your gambit. You go for that.
Okay. An 11.
Oh, snap. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Okay.
Oh, I
like
know what
that
you
a
use.
snap.
I've watched your videos. I know what you use D12s for.
All right, so we switch back over. So you guys are in the bar right there, and you walk over to the Drake in the cage, right? It's got a muzzle around its jaws right there, and it's got like leather gloves, I guess, sort of around its paws, and it's just sitting there, half asleep, lazily, sort of like rolling its eyes around.
With my draconic background, am I more aware of exactly what this creature is? On the fact of is it like a young dragon, or is it a wyvern, or is it a drake?
Yes, it is it's a drake. So it's just a dragon-like beast. It doesn't have a whole lot of it just has sort of an animal intelligence to it. They're typically used as guardians, or sometimes as people breed them to fight.
Mm-hmm.
But they're sort of prized as sort of like guard animals. There are none in these parts, so they must have got this from far off.
So, what do you figure would happen if we let it out?
I think there'd be a lot of angry patrons, but one fairly surprised and hopefully happy Drake. Everybody here is drunk. So.
Now, what I'm about to say can be interpreted a lot of ways. Can you talk to it?
Not all dragons can talk to each other. That's
right,
a
but there's
connection.
there's a draconic language, isn't there?
Do I know whether or not drakes can at least understand? I don't.
No,
definitely don't
they're
think
animals.
Yeah. No more than you can.
Huh.
I may have some sort of kinship with it given my ancestry, but besides that, nothing.
Oh, how do you figure I started throwing fire around? It's not usually a situation, actually, but, Anyway, well, if it's just gonna guard the place, could be a useful distraction.
I'm not opposed to it, but I feel like we should complete our first mission before we completely burn this place down. But I do want to let you know that I'm in on this plan.
We'll store it for later when the others come around and leave that, just lightly simmering.
All right.
Taking a gander around the clientele that's around here, does anybody in here look like a fighter? Like they're worth their salt in any sort of fight?
They all look like they're probably tough people. Like you can tell there's maybe more than one brawl has busted out inside this bar, and probably everyone inside has been involved in at least one of them.
Are they wearing armor?
No, like they're sailors at night, docksmen, crate builders, those sorts of things, coopers.
Okay. Keeping and storing all of this mental information.
All right. So you guys run back to the house, get the buckets of crabs, and start running down this alleyway in the middle of the night, right? Each with a bucket of crabs, right?
I got a big bag full of crabs. Here's a song. I forget it. Big bag full of crabs or something.
So you run down to the docks, right? And you get to the gangplank. You start walking up to the gangplank. And that person is still standing there, that gnome on the barrel. He's no longer there, right? Gone, right? So you can just walk up there. And then all of a sudden you feel the gangplank shift underneath your feet, right? You turn around just for a split second. And you see 3 people. 2 of them in coats, and one of them in a very fine double coat with a golden belt, attempting to knock you off the gangplank and then into the water below. So let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
All right. I'm just trying to get some crabs, man.
Ooh, I rolled a hot 5.
I got it open over here now. 15.
Hey, 15 too.
Oh, we're rolling as well. In that case, I have a 4.
Yeah, I have no idea if we're rolling too, but figure might as well roll. Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Wouldn't want you guys to lose your bag full of crabs.
God, I hope not. They're only 2 days old, can't
I know. They're still good. I'm immune to disease. I'd eat them.
All right, so I got 15 for Orion, 15 for Can, and then
4
for Blaze.
And a 5 for Millicent.
And 5 for Millicent.
What a good bodyguard you are, Millicent. Always going before me.
All right. So Orion, at the start of your turn, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw to try to avoid getting knocked off this plank.
Oh, no, I do not. That's 6.
I'm
6.
going to cast Featherfall as a reaction on me and on Orion.
All right. So, Orion, you fall maybe 30 feet down, splash into the water, right? You're an elf, and you know how to doggy paddle pretty well. So you're not quite sinking, but you're still You're still down there.
Are the crabs gone? Did I lose the crabs?
You can go ahead and make another dexterity saving throw to see if you kept your bucket.
Come on. Well, I'll be dipped. It rolled the same as me. 6.
No, so all that was for naught. The crabs got knocked over.
This is the truly sad moment, though.
All right, so you're down splashing in the water. 30 feet above you, your friend is still sort of hanging on, not for dear life, but to avoid embarrassment at the very least. And you don't know where these 3 people came from.
Is there anything... Where is the closest way to try to climb up? Like, is it like a sheer wall between like this, the water, and the dock? Or is it kind of like there's like an area where the water meets the land, or a rope, or a...
Yeah, you could probably spend your turn swimming over, and you can find a little jetty out of the water onto the pier again.
Gotcha. That's what I spend my turn doing.
Yeah, so you have to swim all the way back over there and get up there, and you're covered in salt water. Sort of fills your nostrils with that sort of unpleasant burn.
Yeah.
All right.
Still more refreshing than a sewer.
Yeah. So did you say anything as you fell into the water?
Not cool. I scream not cool as I drop.
All right. So Can, inside the bar next to the Drake, you hear this not cool from the familiar elven voice.
I think that's our cue.
Oh, it usually is.
Just go ahead and get up from a table.
All right. Do you walk over to the door that leads back outside?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So you walk out and then you see the struggle on the gangplank.
Axes out. Do I have like any kind of actions or anything like that from getting all the way out there?
That getting there probably takes your movement. You could probably throw something down to the pier where the 3 people are standing, or you can try to use your action to navigate the gangplank quickly.
And where are the assailants? They're on the actual...
Yeah, they're on the pier. Like, imagine like a large plank that leads from the pier up to the ship, where your companions were standing on, and they're trying to tip that plank over while standing on the pier.
Can I just run up and jump it and land on the docks?
You know what? Go ahead and make an athletics check. It's quite a large leap, but why not?
Running start.
Yeah.
Just Kamehameha. That's a 16.
Okay.
For athletics.
Ooh. So you don't quite make it all the way down there, right? Like you sort of do a hoof, and you get your arms like halfway on. So like you're sort of like half exposed, right? Like you're hanging on, and it'll take your next turn to get back up.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So sort of standing there, looming over you now, you see this person like this. They have the fancy coat and the gold belt on. And they look right down at you and sneer, and then make 3 attacks. Okay. What's your armor class?
18.
18. All right. Ooh, let me get another die.
Real quick, was it my action to jump?
You know what? No, it would not have been your action. You're right. I'm sorry. I'd let you do that for free.
Could I then, just in the kind of like huff of I didn't make it, go ahead and use my fire breath to just set their feet on fire?
Yeah, that's fine. They make a dex save, right?
Awesome.
Yeah. I believe it's 13.
Yep, fail.
Okay, cool. Just as a... Screw it. Eight fire damage as I just kind of like try to splay out at all of their feet and like midsections.
All right. Excellent. So you sort of like breathe fire at this bandit captain's feet. He sort of like half-heartedly dodges out of the way. And then with his 3 attacks, you sort of lets it be known that it wasn't very nice, and next time you should pick on somebody your own size. Hit.
Okay.
And hit. Oh, man. So you get hit with 2 scimitar attacks and then 1 dagger.
Cool.
14. Okay, so you take 14 points from the scimitars and then 5 points from the dagger.
Okay.
All right, the other two bandits, they're spending their turn trying to knock Millicent off of the gangplank. And so, Millicent, at the start of your turn, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
11.
All right, so again, you fail, and you get dumped into the harbor along with your companion who's swimming out. What are you doing?
Okay. Ooh. I think, yeah, she will. She's got a sort of like tactical archive, which as she falls down, because she'll have featherfalled herself at the same time. She manages to hold above her head, and she gets out her rune of gravity, and casts erupt, centered at the person who's got it emblazoned on them, which is Kandrakar. So that pulls 10 foot. Actually, how far away is everyone from Kandrakar at the minute?
They're all within 10 feet because she was aiming
Alright.
for the gangplank and she like halfway made it, and that's where everyone's standing.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to pull everyone 10 foot towards Kandrakar and hopefully also off.
Yes. So the two.
It's
So the two bandits, they fail, and they get pulled off of the dock, off of the pier, and then into the harbor.
Yeah, if they hit any other creature, they take 1d6 bludgeoning.
All right, so you just knock them right off the pier, into the water,
That's fair enough.
right next to you.
Not sure if that was wise, but it's cool.
All right, and so Blaze, what are you doing?
I mean, the door is open. I can hear all of this, right?
Yeah, so you can see Melissa. You can see like everyone just went for a swim.
I'm gonna kind of look around at the staff here and say, "I'm sorry, are you going to allow people to harass your crustacean carriers? You're not going to do anything about it. Come on, sick the drake on them."
All right, so go ahead and make a charisma persuasion check.
Okay. So 19, 22. With all my stats added in.
All right. So with a 22, the barman sort of looks at you. And he sort of shrugs. Those are his hubby's crabs that are getting ruined. So he goes out there and he sort of like lets out a huge bellow, Lenny. Lenny being the name of the short gnome outside. And at the same time, he motions at the two guards upstairs. One of them opens the door and sort of starts talking inside, and the other one starts walking down the stairs. Is there anything else you want to do, Blaze?
That was an action, yes?
Yeah, it's usually an action to do something like that.
I'll just make my way over to the drake cage in case they need assistance with that for later.
Okay. Excellent.
Actually, wait, is that a cantrip? It is. I grab a hold of that. I grab a hold of those rope cords, and I'll produce flame to just singe one of them off.
Awesome. So you start. Are you doing that subtly, or are you doing it so people will be able to notice?
I mean, I figured a lot of the attention's out by the door. He'll do it subtly, reaching as best he can to just.
All right. Go ahead and make. Go ahead and make an intelligence sleight of hand check if you have that skill.
And if I don't?
Just make an intelligence check.
All right. 14.
All right. So with a 14, you kind of do it. There are definitely some patrons who notice what you're doing, but they assume that maybe you're part of the whole crew. They don't want to get involved.
Yes. I give a good air of being a part of the ship, except looking out that door, remembering I'm on a ship is absolutely horrifying to me. So I'm also partly clinging to the cage for safety. All
right. So, Orion, you're back outside. You managed to get back up at the harbor. The bandit captain is looking around, noticing that his two companions just got dumped in. He looks like he might be sort of questioning his decision right now, but his back is turned to you. What are you doing?
Muted.
How far away is he from me?
Maybe like 15 feet. Not very far at all.
The only question is, like, are we dealing non-lethal damage? Is this just a scuffle? Like, decisions, but... Oh, wait a minute. Let's do... Err on the side of caution. I will run up to him. Is he about like he's medium sized? I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
And I'm gonna just run and try to shove him into the water as well.
Perfect. Go ahead and make a strength athletics check.
Okay, strength.
You know what you can do with advantage because you're blindsiding him.
Yes, I'll take it. All right, so that is 17.
Yes, you win. So you just knock him, poof, clear up into the water.
I was like, yeah, there. Now
Yep.
we're even.
Yeah, so he lands right next to Millicent. So now your poor archivist is surrounded by 3 angry bandits. 3 angry wet bandits.
Wet bandits. It's perfect. Then I'll just kind of crouch down and look intently. I was like, yeah, it's like, are we evens? Is this squaresies? You guys are being real dicks right now, but I think we're squaresies. You tell me. Your next move tells me if we're squaresies.
All right, so go ahead and make a charisma persuasion check.
So that's just straight up charisma. 3.
Good to know. All right. So after Orion, Can, you're up there. So you're like sort of like half-hearted there. You're like your elbows are on the pier. You need to push yourself up, and then you can fight.
All right, I'll go ahead and push myself up onto the pier. Looking around, I feel like he's just gonna shout out like, he's looking pretty hurt, so he's probably gonna try to shout out like, what is this even like for? Like,
Down to them.
yeah, he's.
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's in the heat of the battle. He's just gonna go in and fight. He's gonna go up to
Well,
or he's gonna. Can he see the bandits that are around Millicent?
yes, they're all just sort of swimming to the shore right now. They're not actively trying to drown her. It doesn't look
Okay.
like.
But she's in the water.
Yes, they're all everyone's in the water right now. The 3
Okay.
bandits and Millicent.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll look over at Orion and ask like, what the hell is going on? Just kind of like holding my stomach and like my arm and whatnot, bleeding profusely.
Oh wait, that's right. What I've seen this. Yeah, swim to the side because they came at you with lethal intent.
Yeah.
It's like turns, and I'm gonna say like I had no idea you got hit as hard as you did. I'm like, I turned to like Jesus. Whoa.
Yeah, there's just like a scar
Oh my
going down and like a big hunk in his shoulder.
Yeah, it's like, well, I thought the little dude was just salty about the fact that we, blew past him with all haste, but takes a deep breath, looks at you like, I guess it's blood time, and starts pulling out his weapons. I'm like, kind of wish I skewered that son of a bitch now.
So what am I? He's gonna go ahead and pull out his axe and I guess just prepare to fight.
Yeah, seeing the situation quickly devolve, the bandit captain does some quick calculating, right? He could lose respect from his comrades, or he can stay alive, seeing that he's clearly outmatched. So he quickly tries to butterfly kick and swim away from Millicent, and the 2 bandits follow suit. Millicent, so the swarm of bandits, all 3 of them, are maybe 15 feet away from you in the water, trying to swim in the opposite direction. You can go towards the pier and get back up, or you can give chase. What do you want to do?
I am going to do this because I've got a policy of always using this spell if there's ever a chance to, because it's a rubbish spell. I'm going to kind of like swim towards the bottom of the pier, and maybe is there some sort of like something small, like maybe at the bottom of the pier I can kind of like climb up a little bit. I'm going to cast jump on myself.
Yes.
And jump up.
Yeah. So you get up to like find like one little foothold, and you sort of like leapfrog
maybe
back
like
up.
a buoy or something. Yeah, and I just take a massive leap up. All the while keeping my I'm having to swim really, like I'm trying to keep my tactical archive above my head. So I jump up, and then I will healing word with my bonus action.
Excellent.
On Kandrakar. 1d4 plus 3.
All right. And then I guess Blaze sort of standing there, right? Maybe you blow a smoke ring, sort of follow it up with your eyes, And then at the top on the roof of this sort of thing, you see the sort of stout gnome will take a step backwards and disappear again into the shadows, cursing underneath his breath.
I eye him. But I do nothing at the moment.
All right. So as you're standing there, the female guard from upstairs, the real muscly one, she walks past and sort of gives a look around and asks you, where'd they go? What happened?
Well, from what I can see, they ran off, but you might want to check your doorman's connections. I believe he might be harassing customers on the side.
Yeah. She sort of agrees with you and tells you that, Lenny's always had sort of a temper.
Well, Lenny might want to look into future employment.
She sort of looks you over real fast, says maybe you should stop being such an asshole. She walks back in.
Unfortunately, it's genetic.
She doesn't say anything back, but the look she gives you says, she'd be inclined to agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like your
Nobles
skull.
are all the same. Okay. So back inside. All right. So you have no crabs. You guys are all soaking wet. Or at least some of you are soaking wet.
Wait, doesn't Millicent still have their crabs because they feather fell and like protected the tactics?
Oh, good call. Yes. Millicent, so you have a bucket of crabs. You have one.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a bucket of crabs. Is
right.
it Millicent's go? No.
Yeah, Millicent's the girl. So
Sorry, no, I said, is it Millicent's go? Turn.
I think we're sort of out of initiative order, but
Right,
yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you have the one bucket of crabs. The guards are back in place beside the door upstairs, and everyone is going back to their cards. Like there was a brawl at the bar, no big deal. These things happen.
Okay. Yeah.
Not nearly as interesting as the person losing their eye to the darts.
I'm going to sort of rush myself down, dry myself off a little bit, and take take the bucket in and show the barman. I don't think we got his name, did we?
No, his name's just Barman so far.
Barman, yeah. And say, yes, here's the bucket of crabs. And I kind of just quickly show him and head upstairs past the two, kind of walk as if with intent that I'm just going to go past these two guys at the door.
All
at
right.
the bottom of the stairs.
Oof. So before we get to that, Mr. Spacepants says I'm a bright and spunky DM, which is actually kind of a compliment. Thank you. All right. Hope you guys are having a good time so far, right?
Yeah.
All right. So as as Millicent with her, now stained gloves, with the dingy bucket of crabs that are actually rotted, but no one's knowing so far.
If anyone tries to look too intently, I'm going to try and cast minor illusion to make it look like a nice full bucket of fresh crabs.
Ooh, very nice, right? And as you sort of you catch the guard sort of like looking down into the bucket, you quickly do that with your hands, and they look fresh and crinkly and start to move just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Won't hold up to inspection, but they're inspecting the crabs anyway. Nothing seems amiss. They open the door, and it swings open. From the landing where you're standing, you can see inside the captain's quarters, and it is well furnished. Everything looks spotless in here compared to downstairs, right? And it smells like roses and cinnamon. The curtains are red velvet tied with gold cord. There is a cushy-looking couch. And behind a large desk with maps and bookshelves is a female gnome. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello.
That would be the proper greeting, yes?
Yes. Yes. So Captain Cindy Lightway is the captain of the ship owner of the bar, and standing next to her is her bodyguard. Tall, thin, gaunt, with a mean look in his face is Tom the J.
Wait, our Tom Majay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Millicent, with your bucket of crabs, Cindy sort of looks at you, sort of a mean look for a second, and sort of shoots at you. What do you want?
I say, oh, crabs for Tom.
She beckons you to come over.
Is everyone else has followed me up? By the way, am I on my own?
You're on your own. You're the only one with
yeah.
the crabs. Everyone else is downstairs by the table.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will go over. I thought we were all coming. Yes. I go over and show her the crabs.
All right. So she looks into the bucket real fast, and she snaps her fingers and conjures a small pot on her desk. The flames beneath it start coming to life, and the water is brought to a boil in a second. Right? So she reaches in for one of the crabs and pulls it out, and your illusion fades.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's all covered in bugs and gross, and her eyes narrow at you.
I quickly throw the bucket of crabs in her face. I'm very much panicking at the moment.
All right, I guess we roll for initiative.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, I love it. What did you do? Oh, that's not bad. 16.
We're 11.
Stop stealing my initiative. I got 16 as well.
20. Which
20
might
for
not be a good thing.
Blaze.
Yes, blazing fast.
But who got an 11? All right, Millicent. All right, Cindy got a 12. And Tom, spelled with a TH, also got a 10. He got an 11, but minus 1. Ooh, man, boss music.
Oh, nice.
All right. Ooh. So as Millicent throws the bucket of crabs in the face, you hear the shriek coming from the room upstairs, Blaze. What are you doing? There are maybe like 20 feet to get up to the stairs, and there's still 2 bodyguards staying in the doorway.
Well, I think that's our cue. And as a bonus action, he's going to get up and he's going to take one last puff on the cigar. But as he does, the entirety of it is going to crinkle as his eyes go from a smoldering campfire to a blazing inferno, lines streaking out across his skin. And I'm going to make night as a bonus action.
Fantastic.
And I'm going to start like slowly approaching these 2 bodyguards. I'm going to say, simple offer, move, or... Well, dying seems a bit antagonistic, doesn't it? But it's going to fit here. Just like you'll fit into a very small can.
Unfortunately, the bodyguards are going to try to do their job and, guard the doorway.
Yes, I expected that. I'll just use my action to... Oh gosh, what does this spell do? Burning Hands, wow! And he's just going to bring his hands together and across that doorway.
All right.
2 deck saves, if you would.
Male bandit fails with a 12. Female bandit fails with a 5.
Okay, so they're going to take all 3 of these d6s in damage.
Yeah.
So that is going to be 12 fire damage.
Well, they only have 11 hit points, so the one that was previously a guard and has a tattoo of 2 coins with a thumbs up expires. And the woman who was wearing a wolf's head as a hood and used to be a farmer, she also expires.
Oh.
Well, now they're both ashes.
Yes,
So
now
it's
they
much
are
easier to describe.
both ashes.
They look like part-time giggers. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm a farmer, man. I was just trying to make a little extra money, and this is what I got.
Mourn their passing.
Hey, if someone comes along
Pa-ching.
and compresses you, you could become a diamond.
All right. And so with the fire erupting, the patrons of the tavern, they get up and they start trying to book it out of here.
Yes. Yeah,
All right.
no, good.
So Orion, right? You have like the stampede of like 20 gnomes coming at you, and your companion's all the way up at the doorway, blasting away. What are you doing?
Oh, are we still outside? Or do we not go inside?
you're. I imagined that you were inside at one of the tables
Oh.
there.
but they're like kind of like rushing at me, trying to get out.
Yes.
Let's see. I will try to work my way. I don't know. I guess like they're a bunch of little tiny people. She's like, yeah, it's like one side. I'm like Helga Pataki, one side, moron. I got things to do, kind of thing. And I'll just try to carve a path through them to get into the room where it happened. But also, Tom's husband's out here. What's he doing?
He is kind of panicking at this point, right? He is reaching underneath the bar. You don't see him right now, but you see like his butt like in back sort of sticking up.
Okay, I see that. I was like, yes, yeah. I will just move to try to get close enough that I can get into the room. I'm having to fight through these people. Is there something I have to do, or is it just gonna take some time? Is it like difficult terrain trying to get?
It's like difficult terrain, so you can use all of your movement to get to the base of the stairs, and you still have your action.
Okay. Can I see into the room?
Not from down there. You can like look up and like maybe see like the floor and like people's feet.
Okay. So then, yeah, I will use all of my action to get next to Tom's husband, because I do want to make sure that we don't get pinchered or something like that, and be like, dude, what is happening? What is even going on?
All right. So you move back around the bar. You see him reach down underneath the bar. He's got his hands on what looks like a large like metal pipe, but it's got all sorts of engravings on it.
I don't like the looks of that. Be real. Just not a fan of what he's even trying to do. Do I have any, like, because I didn't use all my movement to get to the stairs, can I engage with hubby?
Yeah, you can absolutely go ahead and try to do something. You can use your action like attack him or something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to use my pike to try to hit him. Yes, that's what I shall do.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage because he's not even looking.
Nice. Thank God for that. So I rolled a 16, so it'll be like over 20.
Oh yeah, you bop him right on the head.
Gotcha, and then I will use. Where is it at? Oh, it's on the other page here. What's this thing? Oh no, that's something else entirely. No, I'm not gonna say it. So yeah, that'll do 7 points of damage to him.
Fantastic, right? So that's a good knock on the back of his skull. He sort of like looks all cross-eyed for a second. Not quite dead.
Okay.
All right. So after Orion, we have Can. You're up.
All right, seeing what Orion is doing and absolutely being there for it, can Kandakar move over to the bar and just reach over and literally pull this guy over and like try to grapple him?
Absolutely, right? So go ahead and make a strength athletics check.
Okay.
Oh, nat 1. You win.
Sweet.
Yeah. And so as you yoink this guy out, you hear like a sort of a clank, 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 clank as this like double capped pipe sort of rolls out, right? But the end of it, you can tell, has like a big glass piece on it. It rolls all the way and rests next to the wyvern's cage, or the drake's cage.
Does it look like a key or something? Or can you describe it one more time for me?
It's like a large blue metal pipe with caps on both ends, and one end has a sort of glassy crystal on it, or a glassy lens.
Okay.
It looks like a magical object of some sort.
Okay. I'll point it over to Orion and say, that might be useful, but I think this one will definitely be useful if we wanted to maybe try to, I don't know, use him as leverage.
Yeah, I agree.
Ooh, smart players. All right, so upstairs, Cindy just got a huge bucket of rotted crabs in her face, right?
Yep.
She spits them out. She's momentarily blinded, but she can still scream. And she says, "Weigh anchor."
Oh, please don't.
All right. And she's going to go ahead and use her action. You see her hands move briefly in front of you, and all of a sudden, she vanishes.
Okay.
All right. Millicent, your turn. You're standing in this finely appointed room. Standing next to you is this tall, gaunt man, dead in the eyes, that you know is Tom the J. And he starts reaching into his back pocket and draws out a thin blade. What are you doing?
I am going to use a bonus action to what it's called. It's basically use a voice with a bonus action. Runic Flare and Gravity. I mean, Vision Strike him. Con save or blinded and dulled until start of next turn.
Con save. Ooh, 18. Or no, 20. That'll pass.
Yeah, it's a pass. And then with my action, there's a pot of boiling water there. Am I able to kind of like kick it at him, or maybe use something to pick it up and throw it at him? Is it loose?
Yeah, absolutely. You can totally do that. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Yep. I rolled a 15. I'm not sure if I've got proficiency. Probably not. No. Plus what? Strength or Dex?
Plus, let's say Dex.
17.
All right, yes, 17 will hit. Tom tries to dodge out of the way, but you still get him with a splash of boiling water. Go ahead and roll 2d10 fire damage.
Ooh.
Nice. That's 11.
All right, 11 for Tom. All right.
Am I in melee range with Tom?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'll stay there. I'll stay where I am then.
Okay. So now it's Tom's turn, right? He's just getting splashed with this boiling water. He flicks out his knife, and the switchblade he makes, quick work with it, right? Insane accuracy. 2 melee attacks. What's your armor class?
16.
Ooh, a 9's gonna miss. And then, oh, that's also gonna miss.
Woohoo.
So maybe not as accurate as he thought.
Good, because I'm a bit of a glass cannon over here.
All right, so that's Tom's turn. All right, so Blaze, you're standing in the doorway. You see this guy whip out a knife and make 2 quick stabs at Millicent, but by some combination of luck or skill, she manages to get out of the way. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, I don't appreciate that very much. That's my hard weight stuff. But so he's going to reach out his 2 hands, and taking that fire from each of their smoldering remains is going to briefly coalesce around him, and he's just going to hold out a finger. You want it dead or alive? Your choice, really, which one way this goes. I'm going to incentivize you one way, though. And I'm going to use a sorcerer point to, distant spell, a Scalding Brand.
Nice.
So it's a melee spell attack, which I need to, or just, spell attack. Whew. Okay, that's going to be a unnatural 20 to hit.
That will hit. His AC is 16.
Fantastic. So he is going to take 3 fire damage, but he's burned for a minute until he makes a con save at the end of his turn to stop it.
Awesome. So he is vulnerable to fire damage. Burned is one of the new conditions in Galders. If you haven't picked up the book, go ahead and do that. Link in the description. All right, Rayan, you're up. So you are, so Cran is in front of you. She is grappling Tom's husband. He's just kicked this magic rod across the room, and your other companions are inside the chamber with the boss.
That's interesting. Like this rod. Does it just look like a hunk of metal that I might be able to wield?
Oh, you could definitely use it just like a lead pipe and just like thonk somebody with it.
Okay, so I'm curious. I want to maybe pick up the pipe.
Yeah.
And try to hit him with it and just see maybe what happens.
Go for it. Make it a melee attack roll.
Oh, snap. That works well. So I rolled a 16. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
So not only do you hit him for, let's say, 1d8 bludgeoning damage with the pipe, so go ahead and roll that.
Okay. Where'd you go? There we go. For 1.
Yeah. But additionally, a gigantic silvery gold dart spews out of the one end, zips around, and lands on him for 6 points of force damage.
Jesus.
Yeah.
This is a cool little toy here.
Yeah, as he gets hit with the enlarged magic missile.
That's dope. It's so nice. Let me see here. I got a smooth. I want to try this combat velour, where, if I'm reading this correctly, I can move 15 feet and then make an attack on him.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do that?
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I want to try it just to see.
And you get some temporary hit points.
Ew, so that would be 15 to hit.
Yep, that hits the barman.
All right, so let's do this back here. So that's another D8.
Mm-hmm.
This time for 7 points of damage.
All right, and so if you want to do non-lethal damage and conk him out, you can, or you can kill him. It's up to you.
I'll do non-lethal. I'm cool with that. I'll knock him down with non-lethal, and then I also get, what's my temporary? I get 5 temporary HP, so I'll write that down.
Nice. Very cool. All right, so Can, as you're like holding this barman's like arms behind his back, your companion just walks up and like smacks him in the temple, and he goes limp in your arms.
Okay, go ahead and put him up fireman style.
I love how you guys are like all focusing on the husband while I'm upstairs going, ah!
We'll get
this.
there.
You've got me.
He's a very vicious commoner.
With the barman on my shoulder, fireman style, I'm going to start making my way up the staircase to the fight.
Okay, so you use your movement to hustle up the stairs. You're sort of standing there in the doorway, and you see Millicent with an empty pot in her hands, and some guy like with a switchblade, and Blaze standing there over a pile of ashes.
Okay. Can I go ahead and like slide him off and then pull out my axe and just kind of like hold it up to this guy as if I'm going to, bring it down on him and call out to Tom that I think you might want to reconsider your course of actions.
All right. As you say that, I'm assuming you're gonna like ready an attack based on what he does. Okay. So as you say that, you can feel the dock and the whole ship start moving underneath your feet as it starts to slip away from its moorings and go out to the open sea. Cindy, she is invisible and she takes her action. All right. Millicent, you're up.
I am going to Vision Strike Tom again, please.
All right. He makes a con save. 13 will pass, right?
Yes.
So yeah, unfortunately, again, he's a lot tougher than his skinny frame and gaunt eyes would suggest.
I am going to do another runic flare and vision enhance Blaze, giving you blind sight to 30 feet.
Ooh. Excellent.
Well, I'll be dipped, Millicent. What class are you playing again? Because this is dope.
Rune Wielder. Yeah, it seems pretty good.
All right. So, Blaze, thanks to Millicent's activation, you can sort of sense that the gnome is just hiding in the corner. She's climbed up on top of the shelf, and she is looking through a little book, and like a little prayer book that she has in her hands. All right.
Heretics.
Cool. So you probably couldn't see her doing that, but that's, extra additional flair. Tom's turn, right? Tom has been blinded. He sees Cam threatening him. He sort of like looks around the situation real fast.
So I'm not sure if he has, but my save DC is 13. So I think he made the save, didn't he?
Yeah, he made the save. Okay, so he's weighing his options really fast here. And what he's going to try to do is bust out the window on the side of the ship, right? So he gets on the desk and tries to like leap through the window onto the quarterdeck. He's gonna make an athletics check.
Abandoning your hubby.
Oh man.
Man.
And he fails.
Oh, yes.
Instead of smashing through the glass all the way, he smashes through the glass and then gets his boot caught on one of the framings. So he's stuck there like half dangling out the window.
Oh, yes. That's beautiful.
All right, Blaze, you're up.
Yes, well, you've had your fun, haven't you? And he's gonna pointedly look at the gnome. And you can stop whatever you're doing. We're not here for you. I'm gonna grab Tom by the belt and just like start hauling him back in. Look, did you hear what my friends down there said? We have something we need to show you.
All right, so go ahead and make a strength athletics check with advantage.
All right. Oh, that's convenient. That was a 1 or a 16. So that is going to be a 16.
All right, so yeah, you managed to get Tom like by the belt and like by the boots and they're like dragging him back in. His chin like hits the floor with a satisfying thunk, and his teeth start to drag a little bit and leave scratch marks on the wooden floor.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, great. Good for you. I'm sure that won't be expensive at all.
All right.
Keep your mouth closed.
So Orion right there, you just knocked out the husband right there, and you can sort of hear Blaze taunting Tom up in the cabin. What are you doing?
Like, well, he only taunts like that if he thinks it's over. I will go to the base of the stairs and then kind of like lean back against the wall and post. I'll ready an action to swing if I think danger is coming my way, but I'll start studying this weapon. I'm like, what are these like? Is it like carvings and jewels? Is it?
Yeah, they're like all sorts of like ancient runes. This is exactly the sort of thing Millicent would be able to help you with.
Gotcha. So I will be vigilant, but also distracted, but also vigilant, but also distracted, studying this magical thing because it's super exciting.
Priorities.
Totally feel you, Jamal. All right, Can. So you stand there. Tom is trying to like to bail out there. Blaze has sort of got him in a really compromised position, and you still know that there's a gnome somewhere, maybe, and you can tell that the ship is starting to move away.
Okay. Can I go ahead and just drop the husband and then come over and then with the handle of the axe just pop him on the head to try to knock him out.
Knock him out. Excellent. Okay, so go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage.
Nice. Okay. 23.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And then for damage, that is 9 damage.
Okay. So Tom is
I don't know if it'll-
Tom is pretty hardy actually. You give him a good old thonk, but he's still twitching and struggling on the floor.
Okay. I'm just gonna cock my head at him and just, comment on how much vitality he has.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure his hubby appreciates it.
So you hear a voice call out from the corner. Is you really only hears for him?
Depends. How high on the Gnostic faith are you?
Yeah, because I was gonna on my turn I was gonna use my archivist skill to do an appraisal of her bookshelf to see whether she's a Gnostic.
All right. So she replies that she doesn't care about any of that crap.
Look at Kandrakar. Oh, it's gonna work for me.
Yes.
Then we're not interested in you.
All right. So at that point, you see sort of a crack, and the bookshelf sort of comes crashing down, and the dust settles. It doesn't hurt anybody, but there's now like a sort of a collapsed bookshelf in the middle of the room. All right, Millicent, what are you doing?
Yes, I was going to try and well, the bookshelf's now over. I was going to try and read the bookshelf, or like read any documents to make sure she isn't a Gnostic.
So I was going to say that you would probably like keeping an eye out this whole time, like after Tom was under control. Nothing there really struck your fancy. It was mostly just notes about star charts and history, stuff like that.
Okay, cool. In that case, I am going to give Kandrakar an enhance.
Fantastic.
All right. 1d8 plus 3.
Cool.
If your next attack hits. And I'm going to kind of go and sort of like shelter behind the desk, just like crouch down.
Okay, so Mr. Space Pants gave us a $5 donation. Very cool, right?
Mr. Space Pants.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, so as you crouch down underneath that desk, you see a small chest sort of like stuck into the side of it, right? like there's a badly concealed cutaway into the desk that has a small chest and latch, Millicent. That wasn't there 5 minutes ago.
Sorry, say that again. The behind the.
Yeah, as you duck down into the desk, like the
Yeah.
place where your feet would be, inside there's a small like niche carved out, and inside the niche there's a small chest.
I will definitely have a little go of that if I can.
Yeah. So you flip open the chest and look inside it, and you see like 3 small pearls.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether Millicent would take this. I don't think she's the thieving sort. They look well. The chest. Does the chest look like well preserving? Does it look like it'll preserve these artifacts properly?
Yes, it looks like it's a very well-made chest. They're like resting on like a velvet trim. The chest itself is like fine carvings into it, like someone went out of their way to make it.
No, I think she kind of thinks, well, no, I've checked they're properly preserved, and put them back in the little compartment with a safe.
Perfect. All right. So Tom is not dead yet, and Tom is going to fight for his life. He's going to try his darndest to try to break away from Can, who has him.
Point of order. As someone who also has him, since he is touching me on his turn, he's going to take 3 fire damage, which I believe with his burn becomes 6 fire damage.
Yes, exactly.
I am flaming. Also, I'm on fire.
Happy Pride Month, everyone. 35. Yeah, so he's at 35 points of damage so far. So Can, go ahead and make a strength athletics check to try to hold on with advantage because Blaze is helping you. As Tom tries to claw his way away.
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Yeah, so you
Dirty
easily,
20.
after getting like donked on the head, he's barely holding on there, and you easily keep a hold of him despite his kicking. All right, back up to the top, Blaze. You're up.
Look, you can come with us quietly, or I can start burning off your boots, which I've seen your house. You need these.
So at that point, like you hear just panic erupts that they're gonna burn him anyway. You know what they do to his kind?
Well,
Yeah.
hey, do you want to say goodbye to your husband before you do?
Oh man, he just absolutely lets out a cry of anguish and rage. You can do anything besides taunt him?
I don't know. Taunting has been pretty handy. But oh gosh, what do I have left? Not a ton. I don't know. I'm trying to give him a boot to the head, knock him out.
Yeah, go for it. Make a melee attack.
Let's see how well this goes. That's a 7, which isn't going to work.
No, so you try to kick him in the head, but it's not really your thing. You're not used to doing that.
Yeah, I'm still holding on to him though, so I'm doing my part.
Yeah, you're doing your part.
Yeah.
All right. So Orion, right? You're finally up
Yeah.
there. You see this whole situation. You see this dude, struggling, clearly terrified.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take the metal bar and lower to my side like anime characters when they run with the sword. They're like, yeah, just like everyone else. Run up and take a swing at him. He'll never see it coming.
Nice. Yes, Bing. Inspiration. Go ahead and roll with advantage because he's in that really compromised position with his ankles being both grabbed.
Nice. So, 17.
17 will hit.
All right. I like this new magical little. I'm just thinking of like a pipe, like an L-shaped pipe that's got runes and stuff carved into it and little things.
Pretty metal.
Orion with the lead
Literally.
pipe in the captain's quarters. Did I win?
So 3 damage. And is there a limit on how many times it could do the magic missile thing?
You can use your action to cast it, and it has 4 more charges.
Okay.
And each charge does 2d4 plus 2 damage.
So if I use my action to so if I swing with it, I can like have it go off, or do I just say I'm going to use the pipe to do magic missile?
You can swing with it and have the magic missile go off on a hit if you want. It's like a boomstick.
I'm going to use another one of those charges for. Oh crap! 5 points of force damage or psychic damage.
Force damage, yeah, nice. All right, so he looks like he has about 7 hit points left. Tom is really struggling.
Actually, I'm going to use my last superiority die. Where's that? Oh, I've got to use it here. 2 fingers. For just 5 points of extra damage, but that's 2. It's only got 2 of those left. But.
All right, Ken. So Tom is at your feet. You got it by the ankle. He's got 2 hit points left. Man,
Let's do this.
How you gonna finish him off?
Time to brush off those dice.
Just with the broadside of the axe, just bring it into his face to just knock him out
All right.
with
Boom.
non-lethal.
Yeah, you know what? Don't even roll for it. You just do that. You
Okay.
just, like you're taking a golf swing or something, right?
Yeah.
Just bam right across the jaw, and he falls limp. You can tell that the ship right now is like moving. You're maybe like 20, 30 feet away from the harbor, but if you don't get a move on, you're gonna be out at sea. Cindy is not yelling. Oh, go ahead, Millicent.
Oh no, I was just saying. Hopefully, I'll still have jump ready so I can get a second use at a jump.
Yeah, you still got jump ready. Cindy is crying out that you guys still owe her a bodyguard. Are you gonna stay and confront her, or are you gonna make headway and try to get out of here?
Big dip. Like if she wants to
Yeah.
try to fight us for a bodyguard, she's gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
She's gonna have a bad time.
I think Millicent would say, "Well, we'll pay you when we get the bounty for this scumbag."
What?
The first time, Blaze is like, "My money? The money?"
Sorry. Wait, we'll discuss this later. After we... Oh god, we have to jump in the water.
All right. So as you guys you're running out there, right? You jump off of the ship. Does Blaze jump off of the ship into the water?
She's gonna be like at the front, like going out the door. I imagine he like gets to it, stops, and then someone will clear him through.
Yeah.
I'll give you a push with the jump spell as well.
Yeah. So you go flying out into the harbor with a satisfying splash. And you guys manage to swim to shore with your unconscious bounty back. You tie him up, hog tie him, drag him all the way across town on the cobblestones to the tavern to await your prize.
Fireman style.
Yeah.
Strength.
We don't actually have to
Enhance.
pay, but
Yeah.
All right. And that's the end of our first episode. I hope you guys I hope everyone had a good time with that.
That was sick.
Yeah.
Thank you for running it.
All right, let me do the outro real fast here, everybody. We use a lot of material from Galder's Gazetteer. That's the new book I put out for advanced players. All the proceeds are going to the Cancer Research Institute, so you can pick that up. Links in the description. If you want to get involved in this campaign, we're running again in 2 weeks, again with audience members, fans like you. You can sign up in the Discord. Again, link in the description. I had a really great time. I hope you folks had a great time. I can't wait to see where these characters go and where the story progresses. And so if you have some thoughts on this video, on what the people should do, let me know in the comments below.
Excellent. Yes.
Very fun game.
Thank you. This
All
is
right.
good.